Hey guys, when you say no, 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 and when you say yes, 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 oh, when you say no, 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 oh, when you say yes, 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 yes. So today we are going to be talking about, I was in a live stream earlier and the prompt basically was saying, why are some Caribbean women jealous of Black American women? And of course, Caribbean women, a Puerto Rican woman, and I think the other woman was Trini, I'm not sure, came in there and was talking crazy. Like, this why y'all men don't like y'all. Jealous of what? Jealous of who? A Jamaican lady came up there and was like, oh, we don't want to be like y'all. Don't nobody like y'all. Like, just going in, ripping it. And I'm like, this is literally proving the point of the prompt, because what have we done to y'all to make y'all say such nasty things about us? We've done nothing. Nothing at all. We haven't disenfranchised anybody. We haven't taken any money out of anybody's mouths. We haven't taken any resources from anybody. We haven't taken any spots. We don't go to their countries and pretend to be them and talk against the things that they are trying to work toward. We're not going into their countries and taking a spot or a position that one of them could fill. We're not trying to be them and making money off of their national holidays. We're not taking spot. We're just not doing that. So what really is the issue? So it was this one chick up in there that was harassing me because I came on the panel. It was a trans person named, I can't remember, Zoe, that was up there speaking on behalf of women and saying how, oh, y'all are African American and y'all are African and I'm Black, and like just all this weird stuff. And I'm just like, you don't have memory glands and you don't have a uterus, so I don't even think it's your place to really say something. And for them to be continuously harping on the fact that Black American men don't want us, it's like 80% of us that get married to each other. And a lot of the times, because I used to be going back and forth with people in the manosphere. If you look at some of my content from like a year ago, I used to be going hard, but a lot of the men, one of my biggest ops was a Haitian man. And I didn't know that. A lot of foreigners were fueling were fueling gender wars amongst us, right? And I mentioned that, and then the girl, Penny, hey Katie, thank you. She just was going in on me. She kept talking about me. She kept coming on a panel talking about, oh, y'all don't look better than us. You don't look better than me. Mind you, she had Lori Harvey as her profile pic. I'm like, Lori Harvey is a Black American woman that you have as your profile pic. Like, we don't even know what you look like. She tried to say I'm ugly. Girl, me ugly? I said, now you got to be puffing something. You got to be smoking, snorting, shooting up. Something got to be wrong. Now, I don't have to be your cup of tea, but to try to get up there and call me ugly is diabolical. Especially when you don't have a picture of your face. Like, girl, I'm like, I can't even see you to judge what you look like. Then she just kept going in the comments, writing this stuff to me in the comments, because the host dropped her down because she was going so hard. I'm like, look, I didn't even get up here and disrespect you or denigrate you. I didn't talk about y'all's looks. I didn't say anything about you all in that way. So it's like, why are you trying to tear me down so bad? You know what I mean? And then I said, this is kind of proving the prompt to a degree, because you trying to tear me down and tear my looks down. Clearly you feel, you looked at my profile, then you're intimidated. That's the only reason why a woman is going to try to tear another woman's looks down. Now, I could see if I was a busted looking woman, then I could be like, okay, but come on. Then she got to saying, oh, it's just the wig. You can Google me. Y'all can look me up and see me without makeup or a wig. And I'm still eating bitches up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I get paid to wear wigs, but that's my prerogative. And for immigrant women, melanin rich ones, to get up here and talk about wigs when they wigs be looking fucking crazy and they are always like done up, is absolutely insane. I'm like, it's like some type of delusion going on here. It gotta be. It's delusion. It's the delusion for me. And then I cropped out her comment that she also kept leaving. I put it up there so you guys could see it, because when we say that they say these things, they love to say that we're lying. And y'all know I like receipts. So look at what she said. It says, Love Jones, y'all are jealous because we have real culture, real accents, traditions in a home. This is what she kept writing back to back to back. We're jealous of them. We're jealous of immigrants because they have a real culture, real accents, real traditions in a home country. I can never be jealous of somebody that's saying they got a home country that they don't want to stay at. You cannot make me feel less than or bad about myself when you have a home country that you refuse to live in. It is not a flex. Now, if you was over there in your homeland, then you could pop your shit. But you're over here off the backs of Black Americans. And is that Zoe Friend? I don't know. I have no idea who these people are from a hole in the wall. You're over here on the backs of Black Americans talking shit. Like, that's diabolical. And then to talk about my look, like, women, like, once again, I don't have to be your cup of tea. You don't have to be attracted to me. But to say that I am ugly, I'm ugly. Bitch, you're lying to yourself. These are the lies that you have to say to sleep better at night. These are the lies you have to tell yourself to sleep better at night. Because why would you get up there and say I'm ugly? Like, they look better than us. Like, it's just outrageous at this point. Like, we're jealous of them because they look better than us. Like, and then I said, why do you guys have to continuously compare yourselves to us? Do y'all hear us going around comparing ourselves, saying we are more educated, we are smarter than them, they are lazy? We don't compare ourselves to other groups of people like that because we've never had to. We've never had to. We don't even think about them. The only reason why any of us have started saying anything about these people is because they would not leave us alone. They kept talking crazy about us. So we finally started saying something back. And now they're crying. It's like you're trying to be the victim. You're the victim and the villain. You're the villain and the victim. You are the villain. You do villainous things. But you pretend like you're being victimized. Thank you, Shin. You pretend like you're being victimized to make an excuse for you being a villain unprovoked. Because what have we really done to these people? And when we ask, they can't say anything. What have we done to these people? And now they keep saying, oh, we just talk about them, No, we're defending ourselves. I don't understand. Thank you, boo. I don't understand why they feel like they could talk crazy forever and a day, and we're never supposed to say anything back. That's not how any of this works. That's not how any of this works. Look, here goes somebody. You look and sound and act West African, Ghana for real. Well, I'm not Ghanaian. I do not sound like a Ghanaian woman, and I don't really know what they act like, but I know that I act like a woman from Brooklyn, New York. And I got a little Southern charm because every year of my life I went south to do the family reunions, to do Thanksgiving every single year of my life since I can't even remember when I started. But my mom's family, they're from Glasscock County, Georgia. So I went down south and I ran barefoot. I climbed trees. I picked pecans and peaches, and literally like had cows and goddamn dogs and chickens running in the yard. I grew up like that. And then also, I would always say I'm a Southern Belle I'm a city slicker mixed with a little bit of Southern Belle. Because a Southern woman raised me, my great granny. So I don't know what makes you think I sound like I'm a Ghanaian woman, because I don't have that accent. I don't talk like that. So it's just they're obsessed. They're obsessed. Thank you, B. It's obsession at this point. So this is what the prompt says. Why do immigrants always say that Black Americans don't know where they come from and have no culture? And when they say, oh, who says that? Because y'all know they're going to come up here and gaslight us. Y'all already know. We hip to this. We ain't new to this. We true to this. They're going to come up here and say, no, nobody ever said that. Who said that? Nobody said that. We didn't say that. It's right there on the screen. She said, Love Jones. Y'all are jealous because we have real culture, accents, traditions, and a home country. It's right on the screen. So when y'all better back me up when they come up here and say, who said that? Don't nobody care. You swear everybody's always thinking about you. Everybody always talking about the Black. We do not care. We do not think about you. They lie like a Persian rug. It's right there on the screen. It's right there on the prompt. Okay? It's right there on the prompt, because I'm tired of them making it seem like we just get up here and lie. And when we talk about things, we have absolutely no ground to stand on. And we just want to talk about Africans all day. And we just want to talk about immigrants all day. No, we're responding. And y'all are not going to stop me from using my platform or from using my voice and making content. Y'all make money making content off of us day in and day out. So why can't we do the same? And we also need to have these conversations amongst each other. And y'all love to come up in our spaces. And it's allowed. But y'all love to censor yourselves and then get mad when we say something back. It's kind of like a narcissistic, abusive relationship. Like they want to be able to just say anything to us. Tell us we don't have no culture. Tell us we don't have no home. Tell us we ain't shit. Tell us we don't know where we come from. And we just supposed to not say anything. Like we just supposed to always take the high road and be on some Martin Luther King, we shall overcome shit. No, bitch. Majority of us now, we more on some Malcolm X type of time if we had to choose, okay? Then the second part, I think y'all not going to be really able to see it, but it's basically saying, can you prove that the transatlantic slave trade was real and that all Black Americans come from Africa? How come I sound so real when I'm imitating Ghana? Because I'm an actress. I've taken acting classes before. I'm an entertainer at heart. But we have a like goal up here. You guys help me reach the like goal. Share the live. Double tap the screen. Oh, we have 5K. My allergies. Every time the season chart changing. Woo. Thank you, Reese. Dang, I'm yawning already. We just getting started. Well, I should have a couple hours in me. But when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, okay? Thank you, Ether. Make sure you guys send your heart meets. And I love how you all are very interactive in the chat. I love that. I love that because y'all know I got to squeeze my tiny ass up in this algorithm. So I need all the interactions. And I love that y'all be keeping the chat bumping. Y'all are just so supportive of me. And, you know, I want to continue to keep coming with the content, to keep entertaining you guys, and for us to have these conversations, you know, and eventually the things trickle into the streets. Did you guys see? I just posted a video from some of us going out to the burial ground where the Ghanaian president went to speak on behalf of reparations and restorative justice for us. I just uploaded a video on that. Hey, what's up, boo? Thank you, Lee Bell. I just uploaded a video on that, and they was cutting up across the street. From where the president and the mayor was talking, they was cutting up, child. They was playing R. Kelly. Do you have your passport? Do you wanna come with Rob back to America. I said, oh my God. They was playing songs. They was getting to it. There's a woman, her name is Lacey. She's been up here on before, and she was talking about, she was listing off the names of the names of the names of Black American people who has gone back to Ghana to reinvest in the land. Not reinvest, to invest in the land, to get citizenship, and how a lot of them have been unalived. Thank you, Reese. How some of them have had their property stolen. They've had marriage for, like, it's a lot going on. She was listing it off, child, okay? And they were basically saying, like, y'all don't speak on behalf of us. And I was like, yes, my people. I wish I could have made it out there, but unfortunately I could not. But they absolutely represented. And then they posted the president of Ghana speaking on the Ghanaian news channels, and they had to edit it so that you wouldn't be able to hear us in the background saying, we don't want y'all talking on our behalf. Y'all trying to come and double dip. Y'all claim y'all sold slaves and y'all think that y'all deserve to get reparations. Like, just popping it across the street loud on a mic. I was like, this is what I'm talking about, okay? So that goes for all of the people that say all we do is just be on the dang on internet. That's not true. All right. So y'all already know how it goes. 3 minutes to talk. I'm going to give you a timer. I might let you go a little smidget over. Depends on what you're talking about. I do not like no cussing. We're gonna try to keep it to a minimum so we won't get restricted, because I am sitting here for you guys, but I also we need to get a coin chair. I can't just be sitting up here for hours. And then thank you, beautiful. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, guys. So try to keep it cute, no over talking, super crazy. Yeah, that's it. I didn't get a new chair. No, I have a lot of things that I have to pay for, child. I can't just I could just go and buy a chair, but that's not a top priority. You see me shifting already, because it's like, and it's such a cute chair. I can't show you. I'm not about to stand up, but it's a really cute chair. Okay. Let's start letting some people up in here. What? Who is this? You got back to the world. Hello? Yeah, I'm off. Oh, I gotta mute you until you're ready to talk. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I might put a pillow. I usually do, but I didn't. Saida Tillman. What the heck? Okay, no excuse passport. Can I have your ethnicity? And then I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to speak on the prompt.
Yes, FBA.
All right, go for it.
All right. So to answer the prompt, why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they're from and have no culture? I think they say it because I just thought about this example. Imagine if enslaved people got dropped off in, let's say 1815. So those people that just dropped off, where would they say they're from? There weren't even countries established in Africa to even say where those people just came from. All you can say is just Africa. So the notion that we supposed to identify we can't even identify with a particular country just in that context. So that's why when Tariq say, they want us to be generic Africans, because when our enslaved ancestors were dropped off, there were no countries established in Africa. We can just associate ourselves with maybe a tribe or a region or something of that nature. The reason why they say we don't have a culture is, I always say this, because they look at us not having a country, of us not being a majority black skinned country. They don't say that about Jamaicans and Caribbean countries because they see them as a majority in those lands. So they don't say that about them. But if the United States was majority of us, that wouldn't even come out their mouth. And I think that's the biggest reason why there's jealousy and divide, because of the fact that they can't fathom the fact that this minority group of people has so much influence on this country. They can't wrap their mind around it. The second part, my eyes is.
It says, can you prove the transatlantic slave trade was real and that Black Americans came from Africa?
Can they prove it, or can
you prove it?
I can, there's evidence out there.
What's the evidence?
There's textbooks. There's textbooks. There's literature in Europe and libraries that show evidence of Africans being imported to the Americas. Now I can't quantify that number, but obviously there were enslaved people that were sent here.
You know that there's literature, proof, doctrines, artwork, and all of that all over Europe and all over, in other countries that prove that we were already here as well. They depict the Americans looking like me. I don't know what you look like, but looking like me. That exists as well.
No, I agree. There was an ethnogenesis. I agree that there were Negroid, what you would call Negroids in the Americas, and the enslaved. And over centuries, we mix, just like in Dominican Republic, people mix, just like in Puerto Rico, people mix. The difference between the Spanish colonizers and the English colonizers is the English colonizers weren't interested in racial mixing. That's why we didn't have the largest mulatto populations like you would have saw in Puerto Rico or even any of the Spanish countries or Portugal countries. They wanted to mix. The racism of the English settlers, they didn't want to mix like that, so we only were allowed to mix amongst other Black people. So I'll land with that.
Okay. Molly, can I have your ethnicity? And then I'm going to give you 3 minutes on the prompt.
Hey, what's going on? I'm a Jamaican American. My dad's from America. I guess he would be categorically Black. And my mother's from Jamaica.
Are you here?
Oh, can you hear me?
No, are you in America?
Oh, yeah, I'm in PA.
Okay. Go ahead. You got 3 minutes.
Why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they come from? Well, that's mostly Africans that say that. That's just like them taking a jab. You feel me? They got to find anything. You know what I'm saying? They got to use anything because, I mean, y'all be eating them up. So they got to reach and throw something at you. They got to at least try to fight back. So they're going to throw anything at you. It doesn't really make any sense.
Carrie can say it too. The girl, if you could see the post, the screenshot that I have, that was a Caribbean girl that said, y'all are jealous because we have real culture, accents, traditions in a home country.
Look, you got a lot of Afrocentric Caribbeans, and you got even to the point where you got some Africans pretending to be Caribbeans because, look, they want to force team with Caribbeans to go against Black Americans. You feel me? And some Caribbeans that ain't smart fall for that nonsense. But your loss is our loss because we both from the Americas. Okay. So I would much rather team with Americans, and a lot of Caribbeans feel this way, than I would with Africans, because the same insults they use on y'all, on Black Americans, they definitely try to use it on us too. Can you prove the transatlantic slave trade was real and then Black Americans come from there? No, there's really no real solid stone cold evidence, right? Like there's no smoking gun evidence, but I'll say this. I do believe there's a kernel of truth that some people were trafficked between continents across the Atlantic. There is a small, I think that what happens is they get a small bit of truth and they wrap a narrative that they want around it. So they amplify it and make it like it was this massive systemic thing. It wasn't. Through just normal human trafficking that went on between the Caribbean, Americans, Caribbean, Africa, Caribbeans, just between the natural human trafficking that often went on in that era. Yes, some Africans would have found their way or ended up in the New World one way or the other. But they take that kernel of truth and they wrap up this whole narrative on it so that they can make y'all Africans. I mean, the whole goal is this, to make y'all foreigners in your own country. Because mind you, America is some of the most valuable land on earth.
Yes.
So they want to be able to talk to you like it ain't, like it's not your birthright, like you know better than them, like you're an immigrant like them. So they want to, you know, that's the whole thing behind Africanizing y'all, so that they could frame y'all as foreigners. And even worse, they can have Africans as y'all like leaders. But I land with that.
Okay, thank you. All right, everybody up in here, double tap the screen. Let's get this as 15K. Okay, the next person is going to be Yahaya. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Can I have your ethnicity? And then I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 minutes to speak. Yahaya. Oh, let's just say Hayden. Hayden, are you there?
Yes, I'm here now. I was getting my mic off.
Okay.
Let me turn my.
Can I have your ethnicity? And then I'm going to give you 3 minutes.
I'm indigenous to the Americas. I'm 61 years old.
All right, go for it.
Okay. I can't hardly see. You might have to.
Okay. It says, why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they come from and have no culture? And then the second part is, can you prove the transatlantic slave trade was real and that Black Americans came from Africa?
Okay, well, indigenous Americans didn't come from Africa. You can look at the buildings. We were the mound builders. We went from mounds, we went to the pyramids, and then we went to the buildings in the various cities such as New York, Chicago, St. Louis, San Francisco. They had world fairs. This is when they infiltrated us and reclassified us as Black. And when you reclassified us as Negro first, that took away rights to the land, because in law, Black means no right. White in law means you have rights, not in skin color, in law. So what's the next one? The next one was what?
Can you prove the transatlantic slave trade was real and that Black Americans came from Africa? Or did you answer that one first?
Yeah, we've always been here.
Oh, okay.
Our buildings show that we've been here. The white T didn't build nothing. He didn't build the buildings. To this day, he has no clue on how they were built. And when the World's Fairs came around, when they came over here, it was in the promised land. It was heaven to them. And they had to destroy it to keep the next generation of our children sleep. We've been asleep. Now we're waking up as a collective. And since we're waking up as a collective, all the immigrants, because it took 7 countries to dethrone us, all the immigrants are in a hissy fit because they can't, their days are coming down where they can't steal from us any longer. And they know that. That's why they doing everything. Coming over here, the Africans coming over here doing rituals, trying to put voodoo on us to keep us asleep. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I landed with that, my lady.
Thank you. Okay, let me in. TJ Realty, hello.
Hey, Love Jones. I just jumped on. I wish I would jump on a little later because you usually have a real full room, but I'm early tonight. I need to make sure that we as Black Americans are tracking what's happening out in the world. And this week in NYC, the Ghanaian president is in New York speaking on behalf of Black Americans as if we are Africans. about reparations and representing. And he's not only doing that, the concern that we have to start sounding the alarm mainstream is that their stance on why they could do that is because they have the permission of the Black Caucus. The Black Caucus, which traditionally was established to speak for Black Americans, is no longer headed by Black Americans. It's headed by some kind of Jamaican or something like that. And what the Ghanaian president did was, or Africa in general, was get together with Caribbean, the Caribbean, or CARICOM, they're calling it, to come and say that they are in lockstep with us as Black Americans through the Black Caucus that doesn't even speak for us at this point, in getting reparations. And that also was being spoken about this week at the UN. And again, Africa representing Black Americans as if we are Americans and we don't, or as if we are Africans and have no say so as Black Americans.
Yes, the last live was on this.
You said the last slide? Okay.
The last
I
live
wanted to
I
say,
did, we spoke about it. And I
I
just
wanted to
uploaded
say,
a video of us there at the burial site, cutting up,
okay,
protesting.
good. Okay. Well, that's what I was trying to get to, is that we've got to start flooding the mainstream. Like, this is grassroots, but when I go to the UN site where they're having a live session of it, we should be all up in their comments, even if just letting them know that they don't speak for us. We are our own ethnic group. The same thing with all those major political or just popular, even Tariq Nasheed. He needs to, at the same time as even ADOS, be saying that we got this problem because it's a problem for all of us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Did you want to answer the prompt or no? Okay. Someone's in a comment saying he didn't. That's not what he did. Well, what did he do? You could come on the panel and tell us what happened, since we got it all wrong. Tariq still feels like we came from Africa. You know what's crazy? I heard Tariq say that he has been doing his genealogy and he has yet to find an African ancestor. And he also says, that there were indigenous people here. And I learned a term from him, something de terras, I think, where when the Portuguese came over to the Americas, they saw Black people. And the ones that they came up with two terms to separate the Black people of the land versus the other Black people that came over here. So I think pretty much people, the more research that everyone is starting to do on their own, and the more that everyone is starting to look into their own Negro de Terra. Yes, thank you, Negro de Terra. The more that people are starting to look into their own records, they're starting to see more and more that they don't have a direct connection to Africa. We're not continental Africans, and it is what it is. Tariq Nasheed keeps with, whatever Tariq does is his whatever he do. That ain't got shit to do with me. He don't pay my bills. No excuse passport. Did you want to chime in?
Yeah, with the ancestry stuff. So
Have you ever shoved a bag of jelly beans up your booty hole?
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Oh my god. I've done four different DNA tests, and ancestry I would say is the most accurate in my opinion. But what a lot of people that haven't taken a test don't know is that ancestry will break down your family lineage from present to, like, say, the last 200 to 250 years. But when it comes to the African ancestry, they only can start at the about 500 years. So I think it's between 500 and 2,000 years. So most of us, 500 years will have some African ancestry, but less than 500 years, most of us won't. So I don't know how you look at that, because
I don't. I don't look at ancestry tests. Those are for entertainment purposes. There's no way that an ancestry test could tell you your ethnic markers unless they're literally digging up the graves of your ancestors. It's literally just going by what they think. It's like a guesstimate or a hypothesis based on people with other Negroid features all over the world. Like some people have done those tests and then they've done it again a year later and they have a completely different lineup of results. I mean, I'm not here. I know a lot of people really, believe in that, but DNA testing is only to find your immediate family. It can't give you a tribe or a country of origin unless you have actual living ancestors there to match your DNA samples with. So a DNA that wouldn't hold up in court. Like if you went to court and said, "Oh, this said that I was from Gambia," that you wouldn't be able to just take that and go get Gambian citizenship, like, or go and just become a part of a tribe. Like that's not how it works. But if you want to find out who your baby daddy is, or find out whether or not, somebody is like your father's hidden child, then that's how DNA testing works. Or if you commit a crime, then DNA testing holds up in a court of law. But as far as like really being accurate, those people have faced lawsuits. There's stuff in the fine print that tell you they're not 100% accurate. There's certain ways that they test specific groups of people so that they can guarantee they're going to give us a certain type of results. And some people have even sent in DNA from a lizard or a cat or a dog, but because of the name that they put down and because of the race that they marked off, it came back, of course, a certain type of way. But I would suggest that everybody does, do your paperwork.
I think I always say this just to come back. 23andMe had that situation where somebody tested a dog and it came back. I'm not promoting any company thing like that, but I could trace my roots to Mississippi on my paternal and on my maternal and paternal side, and I could through written history, through obituaries, and my ancestry when it showed like the migration, because it shows the migration. It looks at admixtures, and they use color coded maps. My highest concentration of admixture was in Mississippi, so it did align with things I had historically, but it can't identify you by, it can't point you to a tribe or a specific country. It only could say you're a mixture of this region versus this region, and it gives you enough information to make a educated guess.
But I don't understand, why does that matter? Because the Black American ethnic group we're talking about the population that survived Reconstruction, Jim Crow, Tulsa Massacre, all the way out through the civil rights. Why does what our ancestry matter when we're talking about this specific ethnic group that includes the indigenous Black folks that also survived that they're in that same population? I don't understand, why are we so occupied with ancestry?
Yeah, I mean, some people wanted to seek getting citizenship in Africa. Some people had some paternity fraud. Their parent, they found that one of their parents lied about something, and they wanted to do an ancestry to try to figure out if they have matches. I found matches in my family on Ancestry, for example. But it's different reasons, and then people might start digging more for other things.
Mostly for status. We was reclassified from a status to status where you can't have land. They could strip away your land. So if you go back, you see what your grandfather, what they were in the census, what they were labeled as, Negro, Indian. You have to go back. So if you're Native, well, the Native people are getting checks from the government. They done stole our identity. That's a fraud. That's a straight up fraud.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that what we're talking about is lineage, and they're talking about ancestry, like your DNA. What we're always talking about in the United States of America, from America's perspective, because we really don't care about everybody else, is we're always talking ethnic group. And the ethnic group has to do with how you account for your lineage.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we got a new person on here. Joseph Orlando, can we have your ethnicity? And then I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 minutes to speak. Joseph.
Yes, I accidentally bumped in. My
Okay.
ethnicity is America.
Do you want me to disconnect you?
Yeah, because I'm at work.
All right. Safe travels. Yeah, so even just a quick Google search, it says, they're very effective, but it says it's more effective for they're more accurate for individuals with European descent due to larger reference databases and may be less precise for non-white ancestry. So it literally tells you right then and there that it's biased. And it really doesn't, like, when I go for how accurate is DNA Ancestry, it says less than 99%, but then when you just do it regular without for ethnic groups, it says DNA matching is highly accurate for identifying parents, siblings, and close cousins. You see? So that's really what you can base it off of. Now, if you had actual cousins in Africa that you was matching up with, like, that's why you say if you go and put your thing in Ancestry.com, then you'll find cousins and stuff that's in the America, like in the United States, but you're not going to find any living relatives in Africa because you don't have any. But, hey.
Now, what could be something that, people, we should look into is that people, let's say when it comes to reparations, you could have people that thought they're FBA because of what their family told them, and they could have been low-key adopted. Their father, they could have thought their father was FBA but found out he wasn't. So you're gonna need science if you want to accurately know who's all FBA and who's not FBA, because there are going to be people that sneak through the cracks.
No, you don't need science. You just need to be able to trace your family back to the first census, which was August 2nd, 1790. So if you could trace your lineage back like this, I'm sure they're going to do like a marker for a year. Oh, I got to mute you. It's too loud going on back there. But I'm sure they're going to, probably ask you, like, do you have paperwork that your family was here before a certain time? Because mass migration of deeply melanated immigrants didn't really start here until the 60s. So they're going to ask you, like, can you prove that your parents were on the census? You don't need science for that. You just need paperwork. Can you get a birth certificate, a death certificate, marriage certificates, land patents that literally trace your actual ancestors back to this land? And we fortunately can go back a couple centuries. Other people, other immigrants in other countries, they don't have the same type of paperwork or paper trail that we do, and that is a blessing. And I don't think that enough of us take advantage of that. So instead of trying to do some pseudoscience, all we need to do is just go to the Library of Congress, look on these sites. If you know your grandparents' names, if you know your great-grandparents' names, you can start there. That's a start. You can log their names in, and then it'll take you back, further and further. You may need to spend a little bit of coin so that you can unlock levels to getting back to their parents and so on and so forth. But a lot of us have been able to go back further than 7 generations. And that's accurate. It's not just I'm spitting into something that a dog could spit into, and now they telling me I'm from Zimbabwe. Like, no, we had census records in the United States of America going back to 1790.
Now, I got you on that. I was just saying, like, an example where, let's just say somebody from Africa was adopted by FBA parents and they didn't know
then
they
they
adopted.
they don't, their parents would get reparations and restorative justice, not them. Because it's that they're not a part of the bloodline. Like, just because you adopt somebody doesn't make them a part of the bloodline. Like, your family through love and, paper.
No, I'm saying they didn't know. I'm saying they didn't know that they was adopted. Not saying
well, if they didn't know, then once they start to trace their paperwork back, then somewhere in the system, they'll probably find out that who they thought was their parents is not actually their parents. Okay, we have new people on the panel. Hello, Vanilla is really black. Can we have your ethnicity? And then I'm going to give you 3 minutes to speak.
My ethnicity is foundational Black American.
Okay, I'm going to start your timer. Go ahead.
And basically, I don't know if you've noticed that, a lot of Africans and Caribbeans have been trying to rewrite our history, especially the Caribbeans. They have said that we fled to their country, their islands, and was helping the Dominicans kick the Haitians out. Now you got the Haitians saying we were running to them. It's crazy. It's on Twitter and it's blowing up. It's literally blown up. And they're trying to rewrite themselves into our history. And they're saying that we helped them kick out Haitians. The Jamaicans say we were running to them. The Trinidadians say we were running to them. The Panamanians, I heard, is coming at us too now. And now, like the entire continent of Africa, they after us. But it's a lot of people trying to shoehorn their way into our story, into our history, into our being. And I don't understand that. I don't get it. Because if you're so great and you're so proud of your homeland and your people, why would you need to attach yourselves and parasite yourselves to us?
Because they don't have the strongest ethnic pride. It's so funny because I heard someone else saying, I was scrolling past a panel and they said immigrants have more pride and a higher self-esteem than Black Americans. And I said, that is diabolical. How could you have more pride than people who stayed and fought in their homeland and you left? That doesn't make any sense.
We can't even trust the immigrants because y'all left your homelands, y'all left your people for dead. People in Haiti are eating dirt. Even people in Africa are eating dirt. They're living on top of polluted water. Most. Okay, not all, but Africa know what it is. The Caribbean know what it is. The Europe literally owns the Caribbean, and now none of them can go to their beaches like they used to watch Rihanna do back in the 2000s.
See, what you have to realize.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. We got like 4 new people up here, so 3. I gotta let them speak, and then I'll open the panel for anyone to interject. Okay. It's okay. Let's get to Bryant. Hello. Bryant does not have an immigrant background. I'm gonna set your timer for 3 minutes, and you could go for it. Go ahead.
What's up, people? I just wanted to respond to the DNA stuff. Man, we don't need DNA. We just track the paperwork. If you guys ever want to take a little field trip for the day, just check the National Archive out in your state. It's going to have all of your marriage, death certificates, property records, and everything from your family, and you can trace it all the way back. Some of those things you have to make like an appointment to even go to get into the research room because they got everything. So go check that out. A lot of my Black people that's in the South, many of our grandparents and great grandparents' churches, they kept records as well. So if their church is still standing, go check out the church. A lot of those records are still right there. As far as this Ancestry and 23andMe, last year 23andMe sold that company for about $250 something million, and they sold it to a research company. So all of you guys was paying money to give these people your DNA, right? Now they got your DNA and you paid for it. And now they're testing all of our genetics just like that. So please stop using that stuff, man, and go to the paperwork. As far as the prompt, let me see. Why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they came from and have no culture? We absolutely have culture. Our culture is all over the world. Any country we look in, we can see them dressing like us, talking like us. They want to be a part of everything we have. They may not come out and say it, but we can easily see it. Can you prove the transatlantic slave trade was real? No, they can't prove it. We don't have 1 or 2 ships that we can go touch. And one thing about the Americas is that they document everything. And if they was a part of that, they would absolutely have it for us to be able to see. Where did all these ships go? Wooden ships was going through the Atlantic Ocean. That don't even make sense, y'all. If these things was wood, right? Salt water, I'm sorry, would tear up wooden ships almost instantly. It wouldn't even make it. So they need to stop the cap. They know that we are understanding where we from. This is our land. It's easy for us to make us all feel like we come from Africa because we wouldn't want anything to do with the United States. And we are noticing that we have nothing to do with Africa. And these people are just, they're upset, man. They're mad. They're mad because once Black Americans cut everyone else off, it's over. We're the lifeline to a lot of these countries, and they know it. And once we get fed up and cut it off, that's a wrap. But that's all I got to say on that.
Thank you. Everybody double tap the screen. Let's get this live stream to okay, we could do it in 10K increments. Let's get it to 30K likes. You guys can help me reach the like goal. Keep it popping in the chat. Send them heart me's. And there's someone trying to get in here that was I'm gonna tell you, Christine, you cannot come on my panel. You were very uncouth and disrespectful and condescending the last time I let you on here. If you had more decorum, I would have allowed you to come back up here. See, I didn't block you because I don't even think about that, but just now because I see you. So you might want to I don't know, uninvite yourself from trying to come up because I don't want to interact with you. I'm not going to give my time or my likeness to people that I don't no. Hey, no, does not have an immigrant background, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 minutes on the timer. Go for it.
Hey everybody. Well, the reason why they say we don't have culture is because they don't know our culture because we're not loud with it. Okay, we certainly do have culture. Remember, we used to eat hugmas and chitlins. They never ate that stuff. We had 7-Up cake, banana pudding, stuff like that. They never had any of that. And another part of our culture that they can't stand is we like to pick and joke with each other. They can't even handle booty scratcher, let alone none of Cat Williams jokes.
That is true.
So we do certainly have culture, and I love our culture. It says, what was the next one? Can you prove the Atlantic slave trade happened? Absolutely not. I can't prove it. I can go back to my 8th grandfather. And what I found out about my 8th grandfather is that his father was the signer of the Declaration of Independence, which leads me to believe, which leads me to believe that he was also a Black man. So I'm still studying. I'm still trying to find out. But also, one other thing I wanted to add, Gemini, if you have that app, that also can help give you some information. I got a lot of information on my family from Gemini. Yeah, so the app called Gemini, it's for, I think you can get it on the Play Store. I don't know what you can get it on Apple because I have a Android. But Gemini will give you some information. So I'm going to land there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Can we have the 502 dude? Can we have your ethnicity? And then I'm going to give you 3 minutes. You could go ahead and answer the prompt.
Hello, y'all. I'm foundational Black American.
Okay. Let me put your countdown. All right. Go ahead.
All right. I just want to appreciate y'all for letting me up first. And why do immigrants say that we as Black Americans don't have culture? Is I feel it's just due to diaspora wars and competition. When you are number one, when you are winning, when you have the grace of God literally on your side, you have to understand people are always going to come for the top slot. It's literally just how things work. Second, can you prove the transatlantic slave trade? No, because we can prove our lineage. We can prove where we come from. So whenever somebody tells you, African people, if y'all are listening, a lot of people outside of the diaspora of America, if y'all are listening, when we tell y'all that we are from America, it's because, listen, my grandmother, she just passed away. My great-grandmother, she was 96 years old. Before she passed away, y'all, I had to ask her about slavery and things like that. You understand? And what I asked her, my first question was her grandmother, was your mother and your grandmother, were they from Africa? And she said, no, I don't know why they be telling y'all that, but that is not true. So I'm going to believe what my grandmother says. You understand what I'm saying? Why would I believe something that somebody who put my people down for years, hundreds and hundreds of years, why would I just believe what they are telling me, y'all? Come on. Critical thinking is free. And I really appreciate y'all for letting me come up. I've been seeing your content for years, and you are doing a wonderful job,
Thank you.
explaining this and breaking this down to people, because it just takes a little bit of research to know. We have been here forever. Who else would have built America? Who else, us and immigrants. It's the only two people. So
Thank you.
I just think people have to literally think, and this is a great forum for you to help people, to educate people, even though you should not be having to.
Yeah. Yeah, they said immigrants. So immigrants added to the infrastructure that was already here.
Amen.
We already had the foundation, and they just came for a better life.
Amen. I
Yes.
appreciate y'all. I'm gonna drop down.
Okay. So what I don't appreciate is that they say our grandparents are lying, and I think it's utterly disrespectful, because I've interacted with other Africans on this panel, and we've asked them, like, well, how do you know what tribe you came from? Or how do you know? They say, oh, word of mouth, oral tradition. So everyone else in the world is able to have oral tradition or stories passed down to them, except us. It's very, very disrespectful. Like, and like he just said, why would we believe people that have been trying to oppress us, unalive us, eat us, hang us, grape us, steal from us? Why would we believe what they tell us over our literal ancestors? It's a slap in the face. Can we have the Montana, your ethnicity right quick, and then I'm gonna give you 3 minutes.
I was up here last time. I'm whatchamacallit, I was inside this conversation before, but I'm foundational Black American. But one time the Nigerian dude said something to me, and I wanted to kind of I've been thinking about it for a while, because I have this topic for a minute and whatnot, because I've been seeing your content for a while too. But what I think people get lost in is, like, they fail to realize that they get lost in that 400 years thing. You feel what I'm saying? And they don't look at it like, okay, well, do you not know that, like, segregation, it was still alive and well in the 60s and in the 70s and in the 50s, and my grandparents lived through that. My mom was born in 70. Like, I don't think they realize how close this was to our immediate family, and not just our ancestors from way back when. They don't understand how close it is to our immediate family that it is. Like, they can go right to their grandparents and ask them, like, yo, did they used to eat people? And 9 times out of 10, most of them are gonna say yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And then when it comes to African Nigerians, especially, is when it comes to that, they just want to run off of the thing where they feel like they have to be a part of something because they're greed. You feel what I'm saying? They never have, and never will. And Guyanese as well, they always look to be the victim in the situation, or lump into a group that is trying to prosper. And I've known that because I'm friends with Nigerians. I'm friends with everybody, for real. But, like, they get lost in that 400 years of slavery, and then the transatlantic slave trade didn't happen exactly the way they presented it to people, because Liberia, real live, Liberia. If you look at Liberia is a country in this continent of Africa that is made up of African Americans. And this is history. While they were taking us, this is to confuse us and to take us back towards Africa. To have our lineage go to Africa, they had to move, just like they were moving people out to keep us, moving people in to keep us confused. They were also moving people out. And that's what people don't understand. But that's my point. I'm running out of time. I'm a chill.
Hey, I want to respond to you real quick while we wait on her, bro. Just like you said, they were trying to move us out of here. That's what that scammer Marcus Garvey was trying to do too. A man that never stepped foot on Africa was trying to get all of the Black Americans to go back to Africa, so-called go back.
Okay, can we have Zio? Wait, let me stop that. Hello, Zio. Zio is, you do not have an immigrant background. I'm going to put you 3 minutes. Go ahead.
So I'm glad that you came back around. I'm glad we're talking about this. There's something that I didn't say before, but I noticed. I remember the other day we had that, I think, Nigerian man on here, and I looked at his profile. So the one thing I don't know if everybody remembered. Did y'all remember when Elon Musk had that update on Twitter to where you could see where the profiles originating from?
Yeah.
Does everybody remember that?
Yup.
All right. So I've actually been watching that before he had that update. So, but people think I'm crazy when I say this. But I've been keeping watch. I've been seeing people compare stories, whatever. So here's the thing: how the other world sees us, they see white. They idolize white people. They see white people as God or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They think that white people, even though we have accomplishments, they think that white people control us. But not, they don't really control us. It's just to a certain extent. We just want to be left alone. So when you go on Twitter, you see like they're originating from Africa, Nigeria, whatever, right? I come to find out that they're just like there's a lot of groups who are scammers, but they're scamming their own way. So what a lot of Africans are seeing that the benefits that Black people are getting. So just like that Nigerian man, what they're doing, they're like a group, they're like a socialist group, whatever, right? What they're trying to do is they think that we're dumb, and they're trying to change the story, change the narrative. Just like we send them money or they're getting paid to impersonate other people, it's just like they're in comments on Instagram, whatever. They're trying to promote hate. They're trying to change the narrative. They're trying to take over. They're trying to replace us. That's what their job is. That's what the group is trying to do. So the thing about it is, when Love Jones was making a point about something, and he was saying that, Nigeria is the best place in the world, he knows the truth. But his job is to change whatever Love Jones, whatever they're trying to say. He has to. And the only thing about this, for him to push the narrative, he has to believe what he's saying, and we have to believe what he's saying. They're not supposed to cave in to the truth. Their job is to change the narrative. So I just want people to be aware that when they come to this panel and they talk about certain things, when you look at their profile and you see that they have like 11 followers, they only follow 28 people, whatever, because they just made that profile because that's the type of job they're doing. But they're realizing that it's not working. They realize that because when we ask them certain questions, how do you know this, that, and the third, they can't answer it because they think that we have this intelligence. They don't really know our history. They don't think that we can achieve something. But the reality is that they never really understood Black Americans. They underestimated us. So I just want to make people aware that these are not every single foreigner or Nigerian person, whatever. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but when you look at certain profiles, you can tell that they're just part of a group pushing the narrative, and they're getting paid to do it. I just want people to understand that. I hope.
Oh, I didn't know you were still saying something.
No, I'm saying that I hope I make sense, and because I saw the topic, because I understand it was along the lines of what you were saying, but I just want people to understand what their goal is. You know what I'm saying? I just hope I make sense.
Of course, you make sense. Okay.
You made perfect sense.
All right.
As far as culture, I have something to say.
Okay, make it quick because we got a new person up here. Go ahead.
You go back. I mean, look at all our ancestors that made music, from James Brown to Aretha Franklin, and then we had soul train. We had television. And then these Africans come over here and they say we don't have no culture. Well, we came up with blues and jazz. We even had country. All that derived from us. And then we on television. You really didn't see no Africans on TV. So We came up with the froze in the 70s and the platforms, and we was dressing. I don't see nothing.
Facts. It's true.
I
I
leave
think
it
there's
at
a lot of projection going on for the most part. Okay, we have Uncle Rick. Uncle Rick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I would never let a Nigerian tell me anything. They
Oh,
not
hold
even that
on. I'm
old.
gonna start your timer. Go ahead. You got 3 minutes.
I said I would never let a Nigerian tell me anything. They not even that old. Their country was founded during the civil rights. During when we was doing civil rights. They not even 60 years old. They country is not old. Like they, if you ask them where your people at before Nigeria was named, they ain't even gonna know. So at the end of the day, they don't know where they from. Nigerian is not even older than our lineage. Our lineage is about 400 years older than them. Like yo, they I don't even know why people
Even
just say
older.
that to a Nigerian. If you say that to a Nigerian, they, all right, where your people was at before the 1960s? Because Nigeria was named by a white woman in 1965. All right, that's not that old. That is a pretty young country. That is not that old. So at the end of the day, when if we did came from Africa, the countries that were there don't even exist no more. So most of these countries is not even old. They not even they not older than our lineage. Our lineage is older than most of their countries. So that's what we gotta realize. Yo, bro, my people been here before your country was even called what it's called now. So at the end of the day,
If I do this, I get dry.
so so at the end of the
Go ahead.
day, you feel me? So at the end of the day, that's what I hit them with. All right, where your family was at before 1965, and they don't even know. I don't know. Like a lot of them don't know. Just like they get mad when we say, "Yeah, well, I'm from New York." Well, I'm from Jersey. I'm from my family. My family probably been there before your country was even called Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, family. If a Nigerian come at you crazy, Nigeria is not old. Nigeria hasn't been around that long. So when they try to be like, you don't know where you come from, or they don't even know where they come from. Like at the end of the day, 1960. Come on, bro. Like come on, man. They country ain't even older than my mother. Come on, get out of here with that. Bless you. Bless everybody on this panel.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I've definitely said that, and I've asked them. And a girl said, "Oh, we had tribes, and oh, they put borders up, and we were already there. They just put borders up and named it." It's like, you a damn lie. Y'all got over 200 and something tribes. All of y'all was not in the same region together. That makes no sense. If y'all were, you wouldn't be over 200 and something tribes. And on top of that, they don't have no paperwork to tell them. What the girl said when we asked, I don't know if y'all remember, if you or any of y'all was in that live, she literally was like, well, oral tradition. And that's what I was talking about early on. She literally said, because her family told her, and it's stories that's passed down generation to generation. So anybody could be telling you any goddamn thing. It doesn't mean that it's true. You remember? Yeah. It doesn't mean that it's true. It's crazy. But did anyone else want to chime in?
Oh yeah, it's something I've been wanting to kind of get off my chest about some of these black immigrants being in our spaces representing us. So I'm in a fraternity, and something that really disheartened me was that I had attended Tariq's Nasheed rally for reparations in DC, and I was trying to reach out to some of my fraternity members to support the event, raise some money and attend. And we have different groups, Facebook, WhatsApp, and It was just birds chirping when I wanted to support this event, and somebody was like, "Oh, he's no Louis Farrakhan. Why is we, why who is Tariq Nasheed?" And so, when I start kind of doing digging and why I didn't get a big response, somebody said, "Bro, you got to read the room." And I was like, "What you mean by that?" He was like, "Most of these guys, you know." Is in leadership positions in a fraternity, most of them have immigrant backgrounds, and so I see this across the D9 where they go to our HBCUs where a lot of us where most of us pledge at, and which is fine. Like sororities and fraternities, we don't discriminate, but they came in. A lot of them come in with the agenda. They become the presidents of the fraternity or sorority. They get invited to be on these political boards because of those positions. And when it comes to things that specifically should benefit foundational Black Americans, they don't want to get behind that, or they say it's divisive. So,
It's divisive, but African Takeover Day is not.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people talk about fraternities, sororities being boule, but also they are the black immigrants. A lot of them are representing our fraternities and sororities that were founded by foundational Black Americans. I always have to remind people that our founders was founded by foundational Black Americans. And yeah, I'm just gonna land on that, man. Brother Martin Luther King was part of my fraternity. He was about civil rights. He was, I'm sure Martin Luther King would have been about reparations, and it just kind of disheartened me to see people in my fraternity not having that vision Brother Martin Luther King would have had.
Okay.
I just wanted to say.
Oh, hold on, boo. Let's let this new person go, and then I'm gonna come back up to you. 90. Can we have your ethnicity, and then I'll give you 3 minutes to go ahead and answer the prompt. Yeah, unmute yourself. I sent you an invite to unmute yourself. 90. Hello. Okay, they left. All right, go ahead, No. Go ahead, No.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, Africans were colonizing each other on the continent long before anybody even came to their continent. And most of them are mixed up because they were historically known for taking, when they won a war, they would steal all the people from that tribe and put them in their tribe. So they're all mixed up. They have no clue who they are. And one other thing I learned about them is the reason why they have so many different languages, like one person speaking 5 languages, is because whatever tribe is doing well, they merge over to that tribe. They learn their ways, they learn their culture, and they learn their languages. And that's the same thing that they're trying to do with us. They come in these rooms and they will sound just like they're Black American and will be African to the soul. So we have to be careful for that too. So I just wanted to add that.
Okay, anyone else?
That's what they do. They're a Decepticon group of people. They infiltrate and they try to take over. And right now they're infiltrating, just as the brother said, they done infiltrated his fraternity. That's what they do. They try to simulate. And then they try to take on, they try to clone us. They want to clone us, take our identity. This is what these people are trying to do. And we have to wake up and see who's trying to, steal our identity again. The Native American did it, and now the Africans are trying.
I feel like, right? Oh, pardon me, I didn't mean to interrupt. I feel like if
No, I think he was done.
The reason a lot of people
see when it comes to African Americans being in like position of power, they are actually African Americans and not foundational Americans. You feel what I'm saying? This is why they are able to be tethered to closer to whiteness than foundational Black Americans. That any immigrant, if this is even in like laws that they made, any immigrant that comes over here and conform to what whiteness is are closer to whiteness than Black Americans because we've never conformed to what whiteness was. I mean, we do have coons, let's not get that messed up, but when it comes to African Americans, a lot of them get to cosplay us because we didn't have a different title or we accepted the title that other people put on us. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to us differentiating each other now, it's like, okay, well, we can't hide amongst them anymore because they're letting it be known as soon as someone says like that whole thing with Shabuzi and the immigrants comment at the Grammys. You got the right to stand up on one of the highest stages of America and disgrace the people that you're emulating. You're a first generation Nigerian immigrant, right? So at the end of the day, your core values, when you grew up in that household with your mom and your pops and things like that, your core values are Nigerian immigrant teaching. So it doesn't separate what you're told is, oh, you can't, you first off, they start off by dealing with colorism, which I would never understand as an African, why you would conform to what white people told you to conform to when it comes to a skin color. Because for Tyler to come out and say, I'm colored, I'm not Black, that goes to show that y'all live in a predominantly Black a predominantly Black continent, and you still chose to conform to what white people had going on. If that makes any sense, but I'm a land there.
Okay. Can we get this live stream up to 50K?
Can I piggyback off of him?
Go for it.
See, when the Nigerian come over here, or any immigrant come over here, are classified in law white. Their classification is white. That means rights. Now, our classification is African American. That means we don't have no rights to Africa or the Americas. It's the classification. We are classified Black, not in skin color, but in law. So the immigrant comes over here, he has really a dual citizenship. He's gonna his love is for where he come from. So when he gets into the politics of the state or whatever, he's gonna look out not for the person that's classified Black in law. He's gonna look out for his classification, his people who is classified white. That's why immigrants can come over here, they can set up shop in our neighborhoods, get a corner store, get whatever, start selling spirits, everything. They sell everything to hurt us. To hurt us. Even the hair that our women have spells on. Even the hair. We got to look. That's why we are the minority, because all the other immigrants is white. I landed.
Brian, did you want to add something to the conversation?
I was going to put mine in the chat, but the Northern Africans too, they're considered white when they come into our country. The Hispanics and Latinos, they was considered white until 1970. They even went to court to make sure that they could stay white because they didn't want to deal with Jim Crow. So all of these people that have never wanted to be with us, all of a sudden they want to be with us now since we're separating ourselves because they know, like I said earlier, we are the lifeline for them to even be able to be in this country. And since we are getting fed up, it's over for them. It's it.
Facts.
And that's why that president of Ghana feels so comfortable coming over here, trying to get the reparations of African Americans because they are classified as African American. You feel what I'm saying? So if you didn't, my whole thing is this: you feel like you're entitled to something when you did no suffering in the place, or this place is not holding you down because your proximity to whiteness is not the same as the foundational people who've been here before, which is why if we didn't conform back in the day, if we didn't conform, the tribes that were native here, if they did not conform closely to what the white people wanted them to do, they were labeled as Negro and became slaves. People from Somalia came down here because they started to invade Canada. People don't even know that 7 countries invaded our country to take it over. Because they couldn't beat us solely, and they tried solely. We fought for our land, but then when you start to bring people who want to be this, and that to confuse other people, they're going to conform when they come over here because they've been promised things that we cannot have. Like, they get grants first. They real live not to if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in Minnesota. They real live just kicked a bunch of people out of a shelter to make it an only immigrant shelter.
Yep. They did the
Like,
same thing in Chicago.
people from America can't even access this shelter after they kicked them out.
Yeah, I saw something like that. And one of the mayors in LA, she allocated $1 million to some type of organization that only services Asian people, and they have like 1,700 homeless Asian people that those funds are gonna go to versus the 20-something thousand Black Americans that's homeless out there. It's utterly ridiculous. But we got a new person on the panel, FKRO. Can we have your ethnicity? And I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to speak. Thank you, Miss Ethan.
Hi, I'm Black American. I just wanted to answer the prompt. Why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't have any culture? I personally, from listening to these panels and just life experience, think it's jealousy. I think, when you hear them talk, they have a really, really, really hard time giving credit. So here's the thing.
Yes.
If we don't have any culture, if somebody's jealous, they don't want to acknowledge what you have because they're jealous of it. But at the same time, they want to immerse themselves in it, be a part of it. And then when they get into it, like Shabuzi or like these peoples in the fraternities and sororities, that is immersing themselves in the culture that they say we don't have. And then they want to take over it and take claim to it like hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's jealousy. It's they just cannot stand it. And I remember I was on a panel maybe the other day, I don't remember when, and one of the guys said that to acknowledge Black Americans, their culture and their accomplishments makes them feel unaccomplished because they can't stand up to it. And so I think it's just pure jealousy. But what I wanted to say about the brother that was up here before me, he said he was in a fraternity, and he said something about, oh, we have to be fair. And I think that's our big problem, because I grew up in a city with it's a heavy immigrant population. So I have immigrant friends that are immigrants and first generation immigrants, because I don't necessarily hate anybody, but I'm aware of how they get down. Even though they're my friends, I know, like this, I don't even know why they on here talking about this delineation process, because they've been delineated.
Exactly.
Right? When they ready, they're Jamaican, they're Trinidadian, they're Haitian.
Oh, no, you gotta mute. Okay, go ahead.
They're Jamaican, they're Trinidadian, they're Haitian, especially when they're doing something, great and getting accolades. They fly that flag. And so they've been delineated. And so I don't know why they're up here fighting Black Americans who are now, I feel like taking a turn because they see how they are and are following in their footsteps, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. This is new to me. I think it's jealousy, and I think the delineation is pissing them off because they can no longer jump in and out, right? When it's beneficial, they're in, we're all black. When it's not, they're wherever they come from.
Yes.
And that's my thinking. But I also feel like, really quick, I got a couple of seconds left, that we don't have to play fair. We don't have to be fair. Because I just the other, like a couple years ago, I think the head of the president, I don't know if he still is, of that fraternity that dude is in, he was talking about Akatas. But you in an Akata fraternity, a president of an Akata fraternity. Yeah, I wish I had the sources to give you more information to look it up, but I remember being appalled by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how's he I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but how's he in that fraternity, in the president, and talking about some Akatas? And my thing is, why didn't the fraternity or the sororities check that? You know what I'm saying? We don't have to do nothing. We don't have to include anybody, especially if they're taking on that type of rhetoric and attitude. And that's our problem. We do not have to be fair. We do not have to do it. They don't do it. We don't have to do it. And that's our problem. That's why we get infiltrated, taken advantage of, and dealing with all this crap, because we was all so welcoming, being fair, everybody come and have a party. And the whole time they hide in their hands. You know what I'm saying? They hands in their true feelings. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to land there.
Okay, thank you. We have a new person coming on the panel. But she definitely was you're gonna drop? Okay, have a good night.
Drop me.
Okay.
What the heck?
He said he wanted to drop, right? Is somebody off their mic? What's going on? What's that noise? Maui, are you there? Oh, excuse me. Maui, what you got going on? Maui, hello. All right, I'm gonna count you down from 5. You wanna come? You wanna speak right now? 5, 4, 3. Oh, I guess not. Okay, let's go away. Hey, Deli.
Hey, I just got off suspension.
Okay. All right, let me give you 3 minutes, and then you can go for it. Go ahead.
Okay, so why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they come from? They don't know where the fuck they come from. Their countries weren't even a country before ours was. Ours was before America was even a fucking thing. They don't have any of that, and they have no culture. That is why they haven't improved, nor have they evolved. And they're sitting there waiting on us. Can you prove that Transatlantic? They can't prove that, and that's the reason why. It was something that was, especially when it's tied to us, they want to sit there and say that happened and things like that, even though in the 1619s and prior to, they had already discussed about us. So they don't know anything. They just know what the white man tell them. But also they want to consider us Africans, and that was a lie created less than 30 years ago. So these bitches are hella gullible. But the thing that I wanted to talk about was when they are going down
Deli?
and
sounds like a whistle. You hear
me?
it? Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Oh, I don't hear it anymore. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me keep going. Oh, okay. I was just making sure that it wasn't on my end because I didn't know what the heck that was. Okay. But I wanted to say, while they're putting down a reef or something like that next to our thing, all they're doing is asking for more time. That's what they want. These little fucking sorry, but these little things want to sit there and ask for more time because they need to consider this. They will always fail, and that's the problem. And I will be there to destroy anything that they have because they will never succeed in what they're doing. Y'all been getting away with it for too long. Y'all are running out of time, and that is not a problem of ours and everything to do with y'all. If y'all would just tell the truth, maybe y'all would get some recomp for what you are actually owed and what you actually did, but you will have nothing. You have sold your souls. You are null and void at this point, and that is the reason why you guys need to do that. So one, your culture is selling out your own, not only your people. Your culture is trash and everything like that. I don't understand why you want to sit there. The people that have evolved and the people that have reoccurrence in this place, which they didn't even ask for. We didn't ask to give for everybody to give us attention. We got that based off of y'all. Y'all go based off of us, and that's a pathetic thing if I could ever say myself. So what is your culture? We don't want your culture. We even named your culture because we couldn't do anything with it. We don't care about it that much. But you guys live off of us. You profit off of us. You monetize off of us. You are, and you try to be us. You are boring at this point. I'll end there.
Okay. All right. We have Takia. Hello. Can we have your ethnic background right quick, and then I'm gonna set your timer for 3 minutes.
Good evening. I'm a Black American.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
I'm trying to read the prompt.
You need me to read it for you?
Yes, thank you so much.
It says, why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they came from and have no culture? And then can you prove this transatlantic slave trade was real and that all Black Americans came from Africa? Please.
Okay, so I feel they say we don't have culture is just a dig at us. And a lot of other communities say that's the first thing they say. Oh, you don't know where you come from, or you were, your people were slaves. So I feel like it's to, try to embarrass us, but obviously we're too strong for that. We are our ancestors' descendants. So, and I also feel like some of it is biblical. So if you believe in the Bible and believe the Bible is about your people, then you'll know that Psalms 83 pretty much talks about how other nations were Confederate in our demise, and they're gonna be a thorn in our backsides, and that's pretty much how I feel. What I feel is going on today. And also with the transatlantic slave trade, I would say if you believe the Bible, believe in the word, then Deuteronomy 28 is kind of the transatlantic slave trade. And I don't believe everyone who I believe there were some people who look like us already here, and there's some people they did bring by way of transatlantic slave trade. And I do believe we all, mixed in, and we created a beautiful culture that everybody wants to steal and say we don't have culture and not acknowledge us. But if you believe in that Bible and that is about your people, then it's written that these things are going to happen. What I think needs to happen is our people, we have to realize like our biggest mistake was allowing everyone in. So like I heard someone say earlier, they took over the Black Caucus, pretty much everything we created. We're not the heads of it. And that's written. So we really need to, we may have to start fresh. Like all of our groups need to come together, FBA, ADOS, any other groups come together, and it's time to start from scratch and create something different and just work together and gatekeep our culture. Probably right now, while Trump is in office, we should be trying to do certain things to delineate on paper further and be reclassified to something else. We can't be reclassified to Black because they can all say, oh yeah, we Black. We can't be reclassified to Afro-American because they're going to say, oh, we're Afro-American. So the only other thing we can be reclassified to is probably Negro, which our ancestors were called at some point, and I don't feel like they can say, yeah, we're Negro. So I don't know if people are okay with that, but right now would probably be the time that we come together and start trying to get reclassified, but make sure that everything that our ancestors put in place for us, we take that and tie it to whatever we reclassify ourselves to. But again, I don't think we have time when you look at all that's going on in the world. But if we...
Wait, I'm going to give you one more minute, boo, and then you got to land, okay?
Okay, yes.
Go ahead.
If we are going to do something, it's going to be now, because I believe if the Dems get back in place, they're going to just continue to flood our neighborhoods with people from other countries. For instance, I grew up in the Bronx. My neighborhood back in the day, my building, probably 80 to 90% Black American, maybe 2 to 3 Puerto Rican families. Over the years, you may have had like 2 or 3 African families. Talked to my best friend recently. He said now that building is like 80% African immigrant. So
I thought you was going to say Latino.
No, I was surprised by that, but no, he said it's Black American, and he's Puerto Rican, so he went and asked like,
wow.
why are so many Africans? And they was like, they got money, so they're using our aid. They pretty much are trying to take over our identity, and they have with our organizations. And now they're trying to take reparations, which I don't think we'll ever get those reparations, because I believe God is going to bless us on a whole nother level. But if you do hear anything about us getting reparations, I feel like that's when the dollar is going to be devalued, and whatever we get, it's not going to be worth anything because the dollar is on its way out.
Okay.
And with that, I'll say it's time for us to come together and just do what we can to hold on to our history, because no one else should be representing us.
I agree.
I have a question, if
Thank
you
you.
don't mind.
2 seconds, babe. I don't like to make other people wait, so I'm gonna let these other 2 people go, and then you could come and have a question. Jay, can we have your ethnicity, and then I'm going to give you 3 minutes timer. No, not June. Jay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim got it.
No, not you. It's not you. I said Jay, not June. So after he's done, then it's gonna be your turn.
I'm sorry. Spread levels to Brooklyn. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Jay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes. Can I have your
Yeah,
ethnicity?
yeah, I'm Yoruba, and I currently live in Newark, New Jersey.
Okay. I think you was up here before. Let me.
Yeah, I was here yesterday.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna make this quick because I do have a special message at the end. But why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they come from and have no culture? It's lack of knowledge and it's willful ignorance. It's just a crazy notion to say that 40 to 50 million people have no culture, not a single aspect of culture, which is ridiculous. And there was this one lady that really went in and called out a lot of Africans and even Caribbeans who do practice Black American culture. And it's very true. You can see it in the media. You can see it in movies, songs. You have a lot of Africans and Caribbeans that do try to mimic and imitate Black American culture. So to say that they don't have any culture, but then try to imitate it, is just a logical fallacy. And then saying that they don't know where they come from, there's a lot of Africans, I would say a lot of us as Africans, we think that if you don't have a tie to a continent, then therefore you don't know where you come from, which is just ridiculous. Because with that same logic, Jamaicans don't know where they come from, Haitians don't know where they come from, the Afro-Brazilians don't know where they come from. So it's just a lack of knowledge and just, like I said, willful ignorance. Now, with the second question, I'm under the belief that the transatlantic slave trade was real. However, there were melanated people that were around the world before European contact. You can look at the North Sentinelese Islanders. They're darker than me. However, they've been there for thousands of years. So to say that melanated people were not around the world before European contact is just ridiculous. But I want to spend this minute to have this special message. It was regarding yesterday. Some people are saying that I'm not African. Some people saying that I'm an American. No, I am a full-blooded Yoruba. My mother's from Ikeja. My father's from Ibadan. I'm full-blooded African. And this is a type of coping mechanism that a lot of these people have. Whenever I speak the truth, I expose Nigeria for what it is. It's a ish-hole country. It's a crap-hole country. They say I'm not Nigerian. They say I'm not African. They say I'm white. And that's just ridiculous. But don't take my word for it. Look up Bantu City Diaries on YouTube. Bantu City Diaries. And he's full-blooded African. He has an African accent, and he tells the truth like it is. In fact, he tells the truth harsher than I tell it. So anyone saying that I'm not African, that's just a coping mechanism. And yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Okay. Bantu City Diaries. We gonna check that out. Okay. I guess the other guy left. So FKRO, you can go ahead and chime in. I'll give you 2 minutes. Go ahead.
So the question I was going to ask is because so the lady before was saying we need to take back, what has been taken over. My thing is, it's a lot of, I would say, Black Americans who don't really believe that any of these things are an issue. So it's like to come together under this and say, this is a problem. They're in spaces and in seats. They're making decisions for us. They're speaking for us, and they don't even really know us or like us. How do you like? This is an open question to anybody who has an answer. How do you think we could get people who do not find this as an issue, right, to come on board? Because we would need to do that collectively. If we here on this panel are saying, you know what, we're gonna do something about it, and then we got all these other people who are Black American like us telling us it's not an issue, it's a non-issue. Or like, how do you think, what would be a way that we would be able to combat that, I guess is what I'm asking, or convince the others?
Well, we have to just continue doing what we're doing now, which is spreading awareness, because a lot of people don't even understand how detrimental some of these things have been to our community, or they don't know. They just put us all under the same umbrella, and they feel like we're all just Black people, so we should all just get along and be okay. And this is why I've curated my content in the way that I do. Like, I don't just get out here and start talking for the most part. I show exactly what it is that I'm reacting to, so people can formulate their own opinions on what it is that they're hearing. And then, of course, they listen to my personal views and opinions on what it is. But this is the first step, spreading awareness. This is a major thing. I don't think we even realize it, because we all learn so much from each other just having open dialogue, and some people just can't go. Everybody during the civil rights didn't believe that, we needed civil rights. Some people were comfortable, even when we were fighting for prison reform, some people were not affected by it, so they didn't think that it was a thing. There's always going to be some raccoons in a bunch. So for those people, they just can't go. As long as we have, how many immigrants? There's not even a lot of immigrants here. But if we could get 1 million of us on the same page, which I'm pretty sure we have that at this point, then I think that is pretty good. Because as far as like immigrants go, I think there's only like 300,000 Haitians here, a couple of million Nigerians here. Like there's not a lot of them if you break it down by ethnic group. And that's the thing, that the thing that they do is they group all of themselves together. They'll be like, oh well, and we all doing better than you. Like, no, maybe the Asians, but not your funky ass. Or we all built the country. Maybe the goddamn Germans, but not you, Ethiopia. You ain't you just got here. You know what I mean? But they all group each other together. So if we could just get like 5 to 10% of us to be on the same page, that's a massive.
I think without to latch on to that, I think your question, how I would answer would be, I call them Trader Joe's. They don't go with us. They don't belong with us. Close the door on them, block them, let other people know who they are, what they are, and things like that. But also put, no offense, but put them on blast. If you guys haven't found out by yet, because you guys are the ones who did not receive the message, which means our ancestors did not speak to you. You are not one of us. So I can't speak for you. You was one of those infidels, okay? You are one of those ones that you didn't get the message. So it wasn't for you, babes. So you are supposed to be outside with them, kumbaya, or come by here, because that's the actual word. The guy was deeply Southern. It sounds like kumbaya, but it's not. So if you want to sit there and do that, go do that, okay? Go be somebody's doormat. Go be their rug. Go be their carpet that they walk all over. It ain't got nothing to do with me while they stomp all over you, but don't you ever claim to be a part of us. And people considering, I say Black Americans, I say FBAs, I say American Indian, I say all of that, Solani and all that stuff, because we are all one and the same to me. And until we can get to like American Indian, like we were here prior to, I would understand that. Like, and I respect their boundaries, because I'm only 300 years, or I'm only 3 centuries in, and I still got more to go. But once I find out, I'm popping my shit. But I cannot stand it when people want to sit there and say that, they are a hate group, or they're this, that, and the third, or whatever. Meanwhile, you're letting these motherfuckers infiltrate you and take everything from you. They are extorting from you. They are polarizing off of you. They are burning down your things. They are doing harm towards you. And you're talking about we are the ones, meanwhile, y'all are in their back pocket. Stop playing with me.
Right.
So I call them Trader Joe's.
Okay, thanks, Belly. Let's get to the next couple of people, and then I'll open it up again so that you could chime back in. Danny, girl, can we have your ethnicity? And then I'm gonna give you 3 minutes so you could go ahead and answer the prompt.
Okay. I'm Black. My
ethnicity? Are you
grandfather
American?
was born here. My great grandfather was a little boy in slavery, so my family's been here for a very, very long time. So American.
All right, go ahead.
I'm from California, and I feel like this whole diaspora war thing kind of caught me off guard because I don't remember, being a kid, I don't remember there being this much tension, and maybe it's because I'm from California and we don't have a lot of people that are not from different Caribbean islands or whatever. When I was younger, we didn't, When I went to school with a lot of either white or Mexican, a few Asians here and there, and then just regular Black people. So I feel like when I went to college in Alabama, that's when I started realizing there's people from, different islands and different places in Africa. It was kind of like an ignorance to over there, you know what I mean? But everybody that I would come in contact with, they would be cool. It just seems like over the last few years, maybe since probably 2020, I feel like there's been a sort of separation thing happening. And I've seen a lot of videos online of just hate and weird takes on Black Americans. And I'm like, where did this even come from? I don't even understand where it really came from. And when I was talking to some of my Haitian friends, they really broke it down to me as the propaganda that happens over in Africa to where their parents wouldn't want them to associate with Black people because of movies that they would see or, just different stereotypical things that they would think about Black people. So coming here, they wouldn't want their kids to interact with us or whatever, because we were gangbangers or ghetto or this or that. And so, I feel like because of the way that they thought about us, they came over here really disrespectfully, instead of talking to Black people and being oh, y'all are not really like that at all. It was just they came with this sort of idea of us, which is racist, really. And they just ran with it and taught their kids that, and just, they treat us I don't know. It's so weird. It's but why? When I feel like Black people have never even took the time to really even think about them like that for real. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was because of my ignorance, but I was just we Black Americans, we have so much stuff going on, from civil rights and just everything that our ancestors even went through to where we didn't have the time to really think about them for real like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's everybody in other countries, everybody thinks about Black people. Everybody thinks about Black Americans, but it's we don't even really be thinking about y'all like that for real. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just it's weird. For them to be oh, you guys are, what do they call it? Xenophobic or whatever. Oh, you guys are you guys hate on us. And it's no, you guys came here disrespectfully and then we reacted to that. But other than that, Black people, we are so welcoming. We're so loving. We do not hate on people. When we were kids, everybody got teased. You know what I'm saying? That's just Black culture.
Wait, hold on, bro. I'm gonna give you one more minute and then you gotta land, okay?
Okay. But I don't know if it was because of them being made fun of, when they came here or something. I don't know. But my thing is everybody got made fun of. Everybody got roasted. It wasn't no we hate you or nothing like that. It just is what it is. So it's kind of to me, I just feel if that's what you're mad about, you got to get over that, because it literally happens to everybody. So I don't understand like where like the hate came from, because it definitely didn't start with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It didn't start with us, but that's something that they've been festering and it's been brewing. And, it's been an upkick, seeing it on social media, because now it's more in our algorithms. And I think a lot of us just wasn't really, the people keep saying you're Haitian. Somebody said you was Mexican. I don't know what the hell is going on. But for the most part, they've been saying these things about us around their kitchen tables. They've been saying it amongst each other. They've been saying these things to some of us. We just were very passive about it and didn't really understand or take it for face value. I know when I heard things from immigrants about me or about being Black, I just kind of was like, I didn't really have the range to say anything back, because I didn't really understand. I didn't understand ethnic pride. Not saying that I was not proud of being a Black American, but I just thought this was another Black person for the most part. So I didn't see it as like, no, they're putting you down. They're looking down on you and talking down on your lineage. I didn't really see it like that. But now that I'm older, and a lot of us didn't see it like that. We had all had these experiences, not all, but a lot of us had these experiences and these run-ins, and we just didn't really understand what was happening. And we see on social media, people feel more emboldened to say things with their chest, how they actually feel. Before we even entered the chat and Black Americans started saying anything back, you could see a plethora of videos. You could go back to 2022, 2021, type in a keyword, and you will see them popping it, saying, we don't know where we come from. We ain't got no culture. Oh, but when you ask a Black American where you from, they gonna tell you they from New York. But where you from? But we know where we from. Like literally popping it bad. So this is not something new. We're just now blowing the lid off because we entered the chat. And that's pretty much it. But I'm gonna get to the next person, then I'll open it up. And if you want to chime back in, you'll be able to. Okay, let's get to Newman Life. Can I have your ethnicity? And then I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. You could go ahead and answer the prompt.
Hi, I'm Newman Life. I'm from Pennsylvania. My ethnicity is a Black American Indian.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, wait, 3 minutes. All right, go ahead.
Okay, and why do I think immigrants always say Black Americans is don't know where they come from? Because they want to replace us. And that's what their whole purpose is here, is to replace us, because we have more history and more foundational history here than they do over there, because they don't even know their history from over there, because they never talk about it as much. And the transatlantic slave trade, I believe it was real, but not towards mainland America, which is us, the United States, because there is a gap there that's from 1500 to 1625, whereas no Africans was brought over here. Okay, so you got to think about it. Jamestown, we was more under an invasion. We are prisoners of war. 1607, that's when Jamestown got invaded. 1619 was the good book with the pilgrims that came over. So there's two different misnomers or misconceptions of how everything went down. So, but that's how I feel.
Okay. All right. Now the next person is going to be Sean, and then it's going to be Cash to Barbie. Sean, are you there? Can we have your ethnicity, and then I'm gonna give you a countdown for 3 minutes.
Okay. Hello, how you doing? I'm Black
Hello.
American. I'm Black American. My ancestors, my grandpa's side, we from Mississippi. We from Chicago, and then on my mom's side, we from like Memphis and all of that. So the deep south, both sides of my family.
All right, I'm gonna start your countdown. Go for it.
All right then. So I think a lot of this confusion starts off is with them saying, like, the immigrants saying we don't have culture. I think it's because like they have an ancient culture, we have more of a modern culture, and I don't think they really, they didn't take the time to kind of they don't know our history. They didn't take the time to learn us, so that's the problem. And also, they're white washed. So before they come to this country, I don't know if you guys know, but they have to watch this video, and at this video at the border patrol, whatever you call it, like before they come into the US, I don't know what it's called, but they show them like a
Is that
video.
real? Because I've heard other people's immigrants say that's not real and that their family are the ones who tell them to stay away from us. But go ahead. I don't want to cut into your time.
No, no, you could talk. No, it's very much real because it was a
That's real.
Nigerian woman telling telling us that it was real. They showed them gangsters and all kind of stuff like that, just showed them videos, and that's why. So they come to this country with a preconceived notion already with us. So that's the problem. It's already just So, but also, but I was gonna say, like, I don't think, like, although you got coons in every race and stuff, and I know that they white tea washed already, but they not really the problem because it's not that many of them. If you think about it, it's other immigrants that's really the problem that we gotta really worry about. Like they not Africans and Haitians, they not even a majority. You know what I'm saying? It's like when it comes to us, it's 40 million of us. Like,
So who do you think we got to worry about?
the Hispanics.
You don't think we got to worry about all of them?
No, I don't think we got to worry about them because, like, we go to a job right now. Who at the jobs right now taking all our jobs?
I think it's I don't know. I haven't had a job in like 7 years.
But I mean, for people who do work at 9 to 5, they always got another immigrant, an Asian, it could be an Indian, a Mexican over you, and they act worse than the white tea person. I'm sorry, they act worse than them. And I'm not saying like we can't have jobs or nothing like that, or I'm not saying like it's all of them, but they're the problem. And I think we all just need to get together, and we all just need to be united and stop with all the bull crap, because that's the problem. Not the Africans, not the Haitians. You know what I'm saying? They talk, they do what they say, they talk how they talk or whatever like that, and they got their little mindset, but they ain't the problem though. I promise you that.
I disagree, and you have like 10 more seconds. You want to say something before I
No, that's just my opinion, but yeah, I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So I disagree that we only need to focus on Hispanics and Latinos. I believe that we need to focus on them, which we do. If you look at my content, you see that everybody gets it. Like, I'm an equal opportunist. I do not only harp on one particular group of people. I have videos about the pale faces. I got videos about Asian people, videos about us doing debauchery. I react to everything, okay? I do social commentary. That's my niche. However, the ones that look more akin to us, they are the ones that we vote into. And we say this all the time, but it's okay. Sometimes some new people need to hear it. They are the ones that we vote into positions of power. They are the ones that get allocated resources and funding on our behalf, which they only hoard and use for their own likeness, their own ethnic backgrounds, or just simply for immigrant groups. Thanks, Prince. And we've seen them be politicians and do absolutely nothing for us. Kamala Harris, when she was VP, before she even got to that level, she literally was sitting up there in an interview saying, I'm not going to do anything specifically for Black American people. No, I'll do something for all people. But then the Biden-Harris y'all know what I'm talking about. They literally, at the administration, passed a hate crime bill for Asians. But yet she's blatantly said, I will not ever do anything specifically for Black Americans. And she is an immigrant that literally ran under the guise of being a Black woman, right? And then Obama, of course, he didn't do anything for us. Another, immigrant, he did things for the LGBTQ community, which that's okay. Everybody else is getting their just due except for us. We are always left out to pasture. And also, we see immigrants that look just like us get on CNN. What's his name? Byron Donalds or whatever his name is, and get up there. He's Jamaican and Panamanian and say, Black Americans do not deserve reparations because I won't be able to get them. He blatantly said this. Other immigrants that look like us, talk like us, walk like us, they get up there, they say racism is not real. They literally set back and walk back a lot of the things that we fought for during the civil rights movement by basically discrediting and discounting the things that our ancestors went through because they're not a part of the lineage. So I absolutely do think that is an issue. once again, the co-opting our likeness to get positions that should be allocated to us. During Black History Month, OBM Lotus, shouts out to him. He was, making us privy to, they did a Black History Month a showcasing for artists. And of course, the school at FIT in New York City, Fashion Institute of Technology, they got a grant for Black students. There were no Black American students featured in this showing. They were all African Caribbean. I'm like, hey, so what is going on? Like, so y'all are getting things under the guise of being us, but not including us. That's not okay. Target, even though if we're like, not fucking with Target, they do initiatives. Target, Bloomingdale Sachs, I worked at high end, those two. They would do initiatives for Black History Month to choose a Black person to do a trunk show or pop-up show to showcase their art. It was almost always someone of an African or Caribbean descent. And this is not to say that we are not competing at the same level, but lots of times when they get into those positions of power, they hire in-house, or they will, be sure to put their own people on under the guise of flat Blackness and Black American. And that's not okay, because now we're left out to pasture when we're the ones that open the door and walk them in to even be able to be a supervisor or something like that. And when they get there, you're going to see a face that looks similar, but when you hear them talk, they probably got an accent, or they may have only been here first generation at best. So that is the issue, and I think that needs to be addressed. Right now, we have a Ghanaian president who Realty, she brought up a great point about the Black Caucus that is now headed by a Jamaican man. So these are institutes that we established, and once again, because we were flat Blackers and thought like you, oh, they're not the problem. They put themselves, we hire them, we help them, we elevate them because we think we're all one. They get to where they need to go, and then they completely shart all over us by advocating for the Ghanaian president to lay a wreath and do a ritualistic ceremony, which took place this morning in New York City at a slave burial ground, which now of course they call it an African American burial ground, but he's also giving that man the right of way to speak to the AU and the UN on behalf of us for reparations. I don't think that's okay. The NAACP was something that was founded by us. Now it's all headed by people that are not lineage-based melanin-rich Americans. So of course they're not going to solely do anything on our behalf. The Black Panthers, so this is my last point, I know I'm a little long-winded, but the Black Panther Party, because a guy looked like he could be a little multiracial, a little Afro-Latino-ish, but we could tell that he was not one of us, he literally tried to take over the Black Panther Party and say, we need to be out there marching for immigrants because he has an immigrant background. So it's like they are literally, not all, but they're taking over our plight. Literally, the Somalis are marching. This has happened last week, marching in Selma, singing "We Shall Overcome," saying that our civil rights movement was then and them and then before, and now it's us and now. So they're just like co-opting and taking over our rights and trying to swap out the plight of the Black American and insert a darker skinned immigrant when our plight is completely two different things. Calling Jim Crow Juan Crow is utterly insane. That speaks to the Hispanic part that you were talking about.
You're right.
But I don't think it's okay that we are being displaced and people are making it seem like we still don't have things that we need to work for and advocate for and fight for so that we could get our just due in this country. We do, but our plight, once again, has been hijacked by people that look like us just because we thinking just because we look together, I look alike, I ain't supposed to say shit about you jacking my shit or disenfranchising me or undermining me. Like, no.
Oh yeah, I don't agree with that at all. Yeah, I don't like that part of it. You know what I'm saying? But I was just going off of like numbers. But I definitely hear what you said. Thank you. You educated me a lot. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk. Thank you.
Yes. So let's get to Cash the Barbie. Can I have your ethnicity? And then we're gonna go ahead and give you 3 minutes so you can answer the prompt.
I'm mixed. On my dad's side, I'm Jamaican. On my mom's side, I'm American. Black American.
Ethnic. All right. Let me get go ahead. You got 3 minutes. Go.
First, I want to say everything the host just said, and I'm coming from somebody who is both, is absolutely true. And even growing up with those two opposite sides, it was very difficult for me because I felt like I always had to choose which one to identify with because they are very different. And the fact that people don't acknowledge that is a problem. So why immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they come from and have no culture, I have experienced that, you know, being on both sides. And I understand that on a both sides perspective. Being 100 and being real, I do not know my history from my mom's side because of slavery. I only can go back so far. But with my dad's side, I can pull my lineage from generations to generations to generations to generations. Many stories are passed down. A lot of the lies that were taught and told about slavery, the truth was passed down in Jamaica about what really went on. It's just a difference, and I see the difference in the ability to communicate and the ability to understand what actually happened in history based upon having access to those people. And it's not a bad thing or a good thing. I think it is just what it is. I did say Jamaicans were enslaved. However, my family was not enslaved. So because my family, there's something they don't talk about. There's people who went into the mountains and lived in the mountains in Jamaica and were never enslaved because those whitey people didn't know that you could live in the mountains. They didn't know how to get up there. So I know my history because of that. If my Jamaican family had been enslaved, I would have not know my history either.
So
That is
I
the
just
thing.
gotta ask you a quick question. So it was
Mhm.
basically oral stories that were told to you about on your
Yes.
Jamaican side. So for
Yeah. So
your Black American side, your grandparents, like, you didn't know them, or they never told you anything about your history.
so when I asked my grandparents, they don't really know much beyond their parents.
But you have their names.
Yeah, because they were still alive.
You can
Because
look them up.
they were still alive though.
You can trace them yourself with
Well, I
paperwork.
know.
I don't know that you can do that in Jamaica.
You know, I'm not saying that you can't look it up. I'm just saying, like, in your upbringing, that access to that information changes the way you view history because you know more of the history as opposed to as a kid, I'm not thinking of going online to look this stuff up as opposed to when I'm having breakfast with my grandmommy, she's telling me my history and it's just regular talk. You see what I'm saying? It's just a difference. I'm not saying that it's impossible. It's just a difference in your upbringing as a kid. I don't think it's right. I think that at the end of the day, we should be looking at it like there was slavery in the Caribbean. I think it's a little bit of delusion in Caribbeans that slavery did exist there. So there is an impact of slavery there too. And they try to kind of disassociate with the struggles of Black people when at the end of the day, there may not be the same struggles until you come to America, but once you come to America, baby, you're in the same pot. So you got to get out of that mind frame that you're better than, higher than, different than, because you're coming into American territory. And I think that's where the disconnect happens, is that when you come into American territory, it doesn't change the fact that, oh, I'm African, I'm not Black. They don't care. Baby, you're Black. You're going to get the same hand of cards that we get dealt. So at the end, the beginning of the day, why wouldn't you advocate for the Black life? Why wouldn't you advocate for all of us? Why wouldn't it be a union? Which is why I think people do vote in these people, because they look at it like there is a union. However, some people, it's a melting pot concept, and then it's the soup concept of American assimilation. And depending on which one you fall into determines the type of person that you become and if you are able to be an advocate for Black people as an immigrant. And I think we need to start acknowledging that as Black people when we're voting these people in. That's why, as a Jamaican, I would never in a million years vote for Kamala. Like, and I'm Jamaican, but I'm also living in America. So we got to be so for real. She's not for us, as on my Black side. I mean, like, she's not for us, and Black people can't really see that. And it's unfortunate.
Yes, I agree with that part. Okay, Ellie, I'm gonna open it at the after I do these next two people. So if you guys want to chime in on anything that you've heard, just keep it respectful, no over talking, and try to keep what you have to say to a minimum. Ellie, NYC, can I have your ethnicity? Then I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 minutes on the timer. Ellie?
Yeah, I'm here. All right, I'm Black American, born and raised New York City. My parents' lineage goes back to We just trace it back to South Carolina and Alabama, North Carolina and Alabama, Bennett Bun Plantation, if you want to get real with it, right?
All
But
right, I'm gonna start your timer. Go ahead.
all right, I want to say before I even answer the prompt, I want to say something to Cash or speak on something that she said, because as somebody who is Black American, I was raised by my stepfather who is Trini, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you this. Even down to the birth certificates that my stepsister, who was born in 1982, this whole word of mouth and stuff like that that you're saying that you use to rely on your Jamaican lineage, it doesn't fly. The fact that you could say that you don't know your mom's lineage and like brush it off, it leads me to say, like, you claim that you identify as Black American, but it doesn't come off that way, because finding your lineage is not hard. It is not. We are probably one of the only countries, and I'm not just talking about in the Black diaspora, I'm just talking about worldwide, that has these documentations that date back to the 1600s and so, right? So to say that you don't know or you wasn't thinking about it, you wasn't thinking about it then. It's possible to look it up now. It don't take nothing. You can go on Ancestry and find something within an hour's time. All right, so now to the prompt. Why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they come from? I think it's just, honestly, I think it can be jealousy, just for the simple fact that we do know where we come from. It irks my nerves to hear these other countries, whether it's Trinidad, Jamaica, anywhere else, even if you want to talk about Brazil, to hear people say that and not acknowledge the fact that you were in the same position. You don't know. I think one of the other issues is because we're Black people in a sea of white people and on a quote unquote white man's land, because that's how they view it, is why they can claim that we don't know where we come from. Because to them we don't belong here. This is white man's land. They don't even acknowledge Native Americans or Indigenous as this being their land. They have to be reminded all the time that no, this wasn't even a white man's land to begin with.
This was actually our land. A lot of us were already here before
and
the conquistadors came here.
I was just about to get into that, because I know plenty of people who traces their lineage way, way back to the 1600s. Now, I can't get back that far. I haven't gotten past 1804, I believe. But I know people who can trace back. You ask them, growing up, even I remember listening to my aunts and stuff growing up and telling them that, like, no, we are the Native Americans. We are Cherokee. Now, how true that is, I'm not sure, but that's what it is. Now, as far as the transatlantic slave trade, I'm still looking for the slave ships. My mom, when she's doing her ancestry, we're doing our ancestry, and it makes me cringe every time she says, oh, we're going to trace it back to Africa. And I want to tell her so badly, like, we're not tracing nothing back to Africa. It doesn't go that far, but I have to let her find out the information herself to realize, because it's impossible. It's impossible. The numbers that they give and everything else, it doesn't add up.
It don't.
It doesn't.
And I mean, even if you look on Google, it literally says 7% now. 7% of the slaves that came from, of the Africans that were trafficked over here came to the United States of America. Even on damn Google. And when you go to Slave Voyages or when you go to pbs.org, it says 4%. I know it's...
When you go to the Museum of Natural History right here in the city, we don't have... Why is it that they have replicas and they have these giant reconstructions of everything else? There's not a single replica of a slave ship out here in the U.S. Where are the replicas of the slave ship? Everything is a drawing. Everything is a depiction. They tell you they found the Clotilda and all of this stuff like that. Cool. But that's one ship out of how many?
Ellie, when the Clotilda last sailed, the camera was invented.
There we go.
They could have took some type of picture, but nobody was there with a camera. Like,
I believe everything is a setup. I even try to explain to my mom, even the fact that we're missing our 1890 census, because I don't know how all the censuses that we have dating back to the slave schedules and all of that stuff, why is it that one particular thing of the census? And I believe that after emancipation and everything like that, and when more information started coming out, there was information in them censuses that they are trying to hide from us. I
Am
don't
I able to
think that the slave
respond?
trade happened.
Oh, hold up, Cash. Not yet, boo. I'm gonna get to the next person, and then I'm gonna open a panel, and you'll be able to respond. All
But
right.
yeah,
Thank you,
that makes
Ellie.
sense. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go to Shanta Rose. Hey, can you quickly, just briefly, whether or not you have an immigrant background, just for the sake of the panel, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 minutes.
Oh no, I'm Black American, born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay. Go for it. Your countdown started.
Hey, so why do immigrants? We already know that it's jealousy, and I think that it's more or less so because they don't know their lineage and they don't know where they come from. A lot of the immigrants that I meet, birthdays are January 1st. They don't have any birth certificates. Their parents don't have birth certificates. We've been having birth certificates in this country since about 1920 to 1930. So that's right. It's jealousy. It's their need to tether off of us as usual. And they just don't know where they're from, and they don't really have a culture because they mimic ours. As far as the transatlantic slave trade, it happened, but just not on the scale that they said it happened. Most of our people were already here. I was just looking at the movie 12 Years a Slave, where they were actually kidnapping people from up north and taking them down south, and these people were not slaves. They were regular freedmen walking around. And I just think the Trail of Tears, because my grandmother was actually a Choctaw freedman, and she was denied on the Doss Rolls. They denied every single person in our family. So it was just a lot of reclassification going on. And I just think it's jealousy within the immigrant class, just because they are not us. They don't have the spirit that we have. A lot of Jamaicans, because she said, oh, well, they told us the history. They be lying. They don't know their own history. I don't know what stories she was making up and telling you, but most of those stories are incorrect. Because I talk to my grandmother all the time. She lived to be 100 years old. She was born in 1925, and she told me plenty of stories. Her mom was born in 1880. Her mom was born a slave. I'm able to trace my family back to the 16th century in this country only because there are graveyards. And so we physically went to the graveyards. And if you look on these headstones, they would write literally the whole family. Like it would be like so-and-so lived from 1600 to 1645. So we have ways, besides the census and besides all of these things, that's physically go to where the people were buried. My great-great-great-great-grandfather, who was born free, started the first AME church in Weatherford, Texas. So you can't tell me that we don't know our history and we don't know where we come from and our family didn't tell us that. Girl, you have to
I
speak
think
for
it's probably
yourself.
just her. Yeah, I think she was
Yeah,
speaking
I
for
think that
herself.
you need to speak for yourself and your family, because also my grandmother was best friends with Opal Lee. I have pictures with her, the lady that started Juneteenth. Baby, we thick down there in Texas. We bred thin and thin. We know that we are Black indigenous people of this land. My grandmother literally were dressed like Indians as kids. So this is I know what a $5 Indian. Have you ever seen the movie Killers of the Blue Moon? I think it's what it's called. It took place in Fort Worth, Texas. That's my hometown. My whole family's from there. So we definitely know our lineage. We know where we come from. We know who we are as a people. And it just makes the immigrants sad that they don't. I'll land.
Thank you, boo. Well, I will say before I let Cash go is that I do feel like she was speaking for herself. Thank you, Tayani. Thank you, everybody, for the gifts. You all can double tap so that we could get this live stream to 100 likes. And I have a gift goal up there you can help me reach. I love how y'all are having the chat booming. That absolutely helps with engagement and pushing me through the algorithm. Y'all know y'all know what they be trying to do because of what we talking about, but we doing good tonight. Thank you guys for the gifts. And if you're not following me, make sure you follow me. Anybody else on the live panel, if you've enjoyed their feedback, you can be sure to follow them as well. So I just want to make that clear. I do believe that she was only speaking from her own perspective, and for a lot of us that we're okay. So we kind of vibrate differently than other people because we've actually, even if we didn't know, we did a lot of the work to find out. It's kind of like, when people say you're adopted and you're like, okay, let me go and find out who my real parents are. You know what I mean? Or like, cause everybody kept saying, we don't know who we are. We don't know where we come from. And it's like, we do. And we were able to a lot of us have been doing the legwork to find out because it's something that we actually wanted to know. I know personally, I've also had oral traditions and, oral stories passed down to me. I had the privilege of knowing my great-great-grandmother. on my mom's side. My great grandmother actually raised me. She was born in 1935. Her mom was born in 1919, and I had the both of them until my great granny passed in 2015, and her mom passed, I believe it was 2013 or 2014. So I knew them until my adulthood, and the things they told me, child, and it was never African. Anyways, moving forward, I agree with Bryant when he typed in the comments, and this is something that we always say: we are one of the only groups of deeply melanated people in the world that has the extensive recorded history that we do. And our history is not only slavery, like even the Jim Crow era, the 1900s, that's also history, y'all. Like shit, they calling things that was made in 2002 vintage. So don't think that you need to time travel 1,000 years to consider something historical text or historical context, or your ancestry doesn't need you to go back and time travel 5,000 years in order for it to count as history. But go ahead, Cash. I'm going to give you, it's going to look like 3 minutes, but you really got 2 to respond, because when we go, back over everyone, I try to like keep it fluid because I know people want to chime in. So I'm going to start you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so first of all, I don't understand all the hostility, and I think this is what's wrong with, we can't have a conversation when everybody is hostile. I very much so came in here and I was very clear about, I'm speaking to my specific experiences, and people don't know how to do nothing but listen to respond instead of listening to understand. That's first. So thank you, host, for acknowledging that, because I definitely was very clear about that. Secondly, I never said that it was impossible and I wasn't able to do the work to find out the history. What I said was, as a kid, I'm not thinking, let me go on Google. First off, Ancestry.com didn't even exist as a kid. So no, as a kid, when I'm asking these questions, because I'm getting these answers from my Jamaican side, from my grandparent, and then I go over to the other side, so I'm asking questions because nobody is offering these stories up, and they don't have the answers for me. In my mind, okay, they just don't have the answers. I'm a kid. I'm not even thinking like, oh, it's because of slavery. Oh, it's because I'm just like, oh, they just don't got the answers. In hindsight, I realized how that made it difficult for me to feel connected, because I felt so connected through understanding my history, understanding who these people are, understanding what they were doing, and all, like, I just felt more connected, even though I had never even been to Jamaica. I'm simply expressing the way connection makes you feel when you're able to understand your history. There is a connection there. And I know that feeling based on how am I feeling more connected to my Jamaican history when I've never even been to Jamaica at that age than my Black American history. And I'm freaking living in Black America. So I'm trying to give y'all a different perspective, but instead of being argumentative and confrontational, y'all should have been listening to see how, as a child, it can be conflicting. Because some people do have that mixed background, period.
Okay, let me...
Can I respond to that?
I would like to say something
Wait.
about that as well.
Oh, wait. Hold on 2 seconds, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay, Shantae, since you literally just went, all right, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. It's gonna look like 3, but it's really 2. And then after that, FKRO, you can go ahead. All right, go ahead.
That wasn't me that said I wanted to go.
Oh, it wasn't you. I'm sorry.
But
It
what
was
I
me.
will say really quick is you did, Cash, no offense, nobody's hostile towards you, but you did say we. You kept, that's why people responded the way that they said. You said we weren't told our history. You used that very specific word. So I think that's where the derivative came, like you have to only speak for yourself. And I guess my question to you is, because you keep saying you were so young, so what about a story that your grandmother told you made you feel so connected to Jamaica at a young age? It's just not that's not, to me, that doesn't make sense, right? Because if somebody just told me a story about their childhood, how am I more connected to that side? No, you chose to be more connected to that side because you felt like they had more culture. You heard an accent. It was something different than what you had experienced here in America. Because a lot of you people that are mixed, they tend to feel that the other culture is dominant because it's not what they're used to. Oh, this is different, so it must be better. But at the same time, you're not reveling in the culture that you're existing in, because I guarantee you, you were living in the American culture, eating American food, singing American songs, while all the time you're saying in your mind, oh, they have more culture than us. What exactly does Jamaican culture have that American culture does not? I'm just really trying to figure that out, because everything about us, not to be funny, is way better than them. Like right now, Jamaica doesn't even own their own country. It's owned by the Chinese. So it's kind of like, I just don't understand. I think that when people speak words out of their mouth, they need to educate themselves. I don't think that you know anything about Jamaica for you to even come on here and say, besides stories that she told you, right? Because if you was that in depth, then you would actually do your history of Jamaica and find out exactly what's going on with that country and what was going on back then, which is absolutely nothing, because they were fleeing over here. Right? Your grandma, all of them, they were fleeing and trying to get to America. So it couldn't have been such a rich culture, right? You just looked at it as it was better then because it was different, because they had accents. But it's not a story. You can't tell me you grew up your whole entire life and your mom and your dad and the people around you never told you stories about things that happened in their childhood. As a Black American, sorry, Cash, no offense, I'm just not buying that. I'm just buying that you're bi-ethnic and you chose the Jamaican side over the American side, so you feel that their culture was better, which is absolutely not.
Okay, so first,
Let me set your timer.
how is it that you got to make this make sense. You just said that I was used to American culture, so it was so interesting to me to be around Jamaican culture. So I was so connected to it that, first off, doesn't even make sense when I was born into both. Okay, so just the amount of exposure I was getting to American stuff, I was getting the same amount of exposure to Jamaican things as well. From my daddy's side, I had a very 100% active father who was very much still in my life. I actually had a 2-parent household. So I didn't not experience it and then just pop up around it like, ooh, this is interesting. No, that is not the case. And I don't like perpetuating that idea.
Ma'am, you were living in America.
It's my turn
Let's
to
start
talk.
there.
It's my
Let's
turn to
start the
talk.
fact that
It's
you were
my
living
turn
in
to talk. You're
America.
so
So you
hostile.
can't live in America
You're
and
so
perpetuate
mad.
Jamaican culture.
Let
That's the
her
You're so
conundrum.
mad.
say you can't. I don't like over talking. She let you talk. She didn't interrupt. Go ahead and land.
Yeah, like that's the point right there. You're so mad for what? You're creating you're creating division when there's no need for division. I am Black too. You're trying to tell me what I'm choosing. I very much so got up here and said, I always was made to feel like I had to choose. I literally got up here and said that when I first got up here, and you're forcing me in that same box. It's difficult when you're growing up in both and Black people don't accept you, but you're not really fully Jamaican for real. So where do I belong? That's a question you should be asking yourself while you're trying to tell me what I'm not. And I already told you what I am. When I got up here and I identify myself as both. I never picked, and you can't pick for me. It's not your place, respectfully. I never said anything about my parents telling me about stories about when they're children. I specifically said being able to hear stories about the historical things that happen in the world, being able to get actual accounts of history. I'm not talking about what playground you used to play on when you were 5. I could ask my mama that. I could ask my grandmama
Okay,
that. I
Cash,
could
you
ask my
gotta
great grandma.
calm down a little bit because you seem mad.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not mad.
want
I'm
to
speaking up
get
because my background loud.
And you did say at the end before you got off, you said as a Jamaican. You did say that, and there's
And then
nothing wrong with it because you
no.
are.
I was saying that to say she was a Jamaican person. I'm Jamaican and Black American, and in the Jamaican in me still would not have voted for her just because, oh, she's Jamaican too. That's what I meant by that. I also turned around and said, as a Black person, I said both of those things in that full account. I wasn't saying it like, oh, I'm Jamaican. I was saying, one would think that because she's Jamaican and I have Jamaican lineage that I would have just been like, oh, vote for Kamala. That was kind of trying to prove a point of how much I don't like what she stands for.
Okay, boo. Let me, Ellie, go ahead. I'm gonna give you a timer, and then we gotta move on. We can't keep going back and forth with this. If the girl she says she's half and half, that's her life story. We can't keep harping on whether or not she fully Jamaican. It doesn't even. Hey, it ain't gonna shit. I need some bills paid. That's what the hell I care about. And I like to talk about what's on the prompt. But go ahead, Ellie. Let me give you some. I'm gonna start you. You got 2 minutes.
All right.
And then after that, I gotta get to the new person up here, and then I have 2 new people, and then we could open it back up. Go ahead.
Real quick, because I want to say, first of all, Cash, that word hostile. To me, I feel like if you're saying I'm a black woman or a black person and stuff, that word hostile should have never came out your mouth, especially when we're on a panel with a bunch of black women, mainly, we're speaking. You use that angry black woman trope without really using that word angry black woman. And that's a problem when in actuality, you are the one who is coming off as hostile, and that hostility is coming from some sort of internal, like you kind of you feel attacked, or you're being called out and you're feeling some kind of way about it. And then I also wanted to speak on something that Shantae said, because I grew up exactly how Shantae described it. Even though I am 100% Black American, from the age of 5, I was raised by my mom and by my Trini stepfather. And I, growing up in Washington Heights in New York City, and being just Black when I was in elementary school and junior high school, yeah, I felt like I was missing an identity, and I took on my father's identity as a Trini. It wasn't until I started learning myself and learning my culture and appreciative and realized that the world revolves around Black Americans that I realized, like, I became proud. Even the whole Pan-Africanism, because we was Pan-Africanists as well growing up. I think a lot of us were, because we was looking for that connection, right? So I, like what Shantae said, I fully get it, because I grew up just like that. And it takes a lot of, the same way where we have to tell these white people about deconstruction and learning and stuff, is the same thing that I had to do for myself, to realize, like, nah, I'm Black American and ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm proud to this day. And like I said, that's why it makes me cringe when everybody says, "Oh, we come from Africa." It's cringy. It's cringy. But yeah, that's it.
Thanks, boo. We got Mega 9. Can I have your ethnicity? And then we could go ahead and give you 3 minutes so you could. Oh, first of all, y'all, we almost to 100K. Clap it up for yourselves, but we could get there. So let's get this live stream to 100K. Okay, can I have your ethnicity? And I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 minutes.
Sure. I am foundational Black American, and I'm from Queens, New York.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
And I just want to say shout out to your page. I love the content that you're pushing out. As a New Yorker, I appreciate and I respect what you're doing up here. I just wanted to say that. The prompt: why do immigrants always say that Black Americans don't know where they come from or have no culture? I think it's because I feel like a lot of them don't know where they come from when it comes to, especially the Caribbeans, because I've had several conversations in particular with Jamaicans and other Caribbeans, and every time, and it always turns into an argument. And every time I ask them about certain aspects or certain parts of their history, they can never give me like foundational, like actual information. It's always word of mouth. It's always oral conversations that they've had with their elders. And so I think that's a lot of times they push that off on us because it is their reality. I remember a conversation I was having issues with my Verizon, and I called into Verizon customer service, and it was a foreign guy. It was a Jamaican guy. And somehow we got on the topic of what is happening here currently in America. And we got on the topic of culture and stuff like that. And I remember him saying to me, this blew my mind. I remember I was saying to him, like, you guys need to get those Chinese and those Indians and all those people out of your country. Like, they hold the power over there in your country. And I remember him saying to me, and I could not believe this. He said, "Oh no, we're all the same. We're all one." And that let me know right then and there that we do not have the same views when it comes to culture and ethnicity and what we stand for, and what we choose to represent and how we carry ourselves. So I just wanted to say that. And also, This whole we are African, we are African, we are African. Some of us may be African. Some of us, may have that lineage that, and they can trace it back to Africa. And a lot of us aren't. There is a young lady on this platform. I can't remember her name. I think it's Freedom something. I don't know if you guys heard of this girl. Her name is Shaquana, something like that.
No, I don't
So
know.
a fake $5 Indian got in her comment sections, in her comment section, they proceeded to berate her and call her all types of names and say, you ghetto, you this, you're not a real Indian, because she had like feathers in her bio and stuff like that. And she says that she's native. Then this smart young lady proceeded to show him the village in Wisconsin called Shaquana Village,
Shaniqua, yeah.
Shaniqua Village
Uh-huh.
in Wisconsin. I
Yep.
think the county is Waukesha.
I
And
said
the
that.
spell, yeah, yes. And the only difference is it's not even the difference is not even in how we pronounce the name. The difference is in how we spell the name.
Yep.
So
But it's
there's
the same thing.
right. So that was the only difference. So don't let people, to my people, to FBAs, don't, or EBAs, ethnic Black Americans, whatever you want to call yourself, don't let people play you out your spot. We know who we are, and we know we've been on this land. We know we were the first ones to cultivate this land. And it's funny to me how on every continent and in every country and in every continent, they realize and they understand that the first people over there were dark melanated people, but for some reason that can't be true in America. That makes absolutely no sense to me. I'll land there.
Thanks, Boo. Okay, we have the Docile Don. Hello. The Docile Don. Hey.
Hello.
All right, let me go. You okay? You got the variant?
No, I'm
All
smoking a
right.
weed.
Oh. All right. Go ahead. I gave you 3
No.
minutes.
Why do immigrants always say? Yeah, I think it's just pure jealousy. They don't have the paperwork like we do. Or if not even the paperwork, we could just literally go to our ancestors, the graveyard where my ancestors is, and see for ourselves. No, I can't prove the transatlantic slave happened is real. That it happened to Black Americans come from Africa. Like I've done my genealogy. The oldest ancestor I found a record was born in 1618, and they were just listed as red. So that's as far as I got. That's as far as I got. So I don't have no African ancestry. I have Mexican ancestry, but no African ancestry. So I definitely know where I come from. I don't know why I'm not jealous of nobody else. I never believed in Pan-Africanism, even growing up, because my grandma knew my great grandma who just passed away, and my great great grandfather, her father. They always told me that we was Indians and told me where we came from, and like my mother family is from Mississippi, and my father's family is East Texas Indians. So I don't know why they trying to Africanize. I feel like it's colonization. Like white tea people tried to whitewash it. I think they trying to African wash us now. Like it's the same thing. I look at them and how they acting, looking at how the immigrants acting, how white people act. They acting the same. I really don't see no difference. And they calling us all our name because we decided to defend ourselves and set boundaries. I think we could continue doing what we're doing. I think regardless of what, they can't silence us. They ain't gonna never silence us at all. We ain't never gonna shut up. I think what happened today when they came and led that stupid ceremony they did or whatever, I think that was very disrespectful. And I'm glad for the people we showed up and was loud. I seen that they had to edit it and got us to try to say we wasn't there. So I'm glad, because that was very disrespectful. And that stupid walk on Salmon, like y'all commit fraud and then y'all go disrespect our ancestors with that stupid walk. I'm just so tired of these people. I swear they need to all go. I'm done. I'm not trying to understand nobody. I'm only fighting for Black Americans. I had enough of this. I'm tired of my people being disrespected. I'm tired of us being disrespected. Like we could just, the world's punching bag or something. And I'll end my plane with that.
Okay. All right, is anybody else new up here? I don't think so. All right, so we're gonna start from the top. Everybody got 2 minutes to chime in on anything that you want to chime in on. Thank you, Chronically. Thank you, CJ. Thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you guys for liking the video. If you're not following me, make sure that you follow me. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Danny girl, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I just feel like,
wait, hold up. Let me start you. All right, you got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. I remember like when the 2020 census came, all before the 2020 census, the only difference with Black people was, are you African American, not Mexican? And then once the 2020 census came, that's when they had all of these subgroups underneath Black. And I realized then, I was like, oh, they're trying to separate us, because before that, I really didn't have any beef with, people from other places, other Black people from other places. I really didn't. So I was like, oh, they're trying to separate us or whatever. I was like, oh, it's probably about the money, about reparations or whatever. But now, and I was kind of defiant on that. I was like, we could all be, but then afterwards I realized, I was like, no, you know what? We should be separated, because the amount of work that our people have put in to making this country what it is, we are deserving of everything that we didn't get from the past. And not to say that people from other places haven't contributed, because that's not true, but they wouldn't be here. None of these people would really even be here if it wasn't for us and what our ancestors did. And so I really do think there needs to be more open conversation. And I really do think there needs to be like some type of accountability, and respect for what our people have done, and the lives that our people have sacrificed, just so that other people can come to this country and benefits that we don't even get. These people come in and they're able to benefit from. It's really amazing how people can be in this country for 1 year and get business loans. And for the longest time, we couldn't even get any business loans or anything, so, I'll just land there. I just really do feel like, there needs to be more respect.
Okay. Brian, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. Go ahead and skip me for a second. I'll come back. Come back and get me.
Okay. FKRO.
Yeah, hello. I've been waiting so long. I have so many things to say. I done forgot. Um, I mean, where should I start? All right, so I don't want to keep harping on. I think her name is Cash. She's beneath me, but I think what the issue is, it's not really a harp. It's just an opinion on the situation. I think what I've noticed with the I would say the Caribbeans, or maybe even the Africans, they have I would say their ethnic pride is high. I don't know if it's warranted, but it is. And so I even have like family members or like nephews that are half Jamaican. And what I notice is that their Jamaican grandmother does exactly what she says. Like she is always pushing Jamaican culture on them. Like it's very aggressive. You understand what I'm saying? And even though I will say this is a lot of BS and revisionist history, there's a lot of lies. It's not accurate. Like, I mean, one time I heard that Marcus Garvey came over here and freed us. This is the type of stuff. So, so they tell their own interpretation of the story to highlight and center themselves. But if you're a kid and that's what they're telling you, then you tend to believe it. So I kind of know what she's talking about. They're very aggressive with their culture, even in their pseudo history that they push on their, they pass it down on their kids. So that's what I wanted to say on that. And I think it was something else one of the other panelists said about like the girl up top when she said she doesn't remember. I think your experience with the immigrants depend on where you live, right? Because the guy said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I think it's the Hispanics. I don't think it's the Africans or the Caribbeans." I don't know where he lived, but he might not. He might, like the people in California. Their big issue is this Hispanics. I think the Hispanics are the problem all over, but they don't really experience the Caribbeans and African like we do on the East Coast. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? So I think when the panelists come up, some people don't really know about certain things we're talking about depending on where they live in the country. So I just wanted to put that out there to keep in mind because I noticed that. I don't know. I think that's it. I can't remember everything. I've been waiting so long, but I don't know. That's it. I'm just gonna land there because I feel like I'm babbling.
All right, Cash. If
Can
you
you
want
double back
to.
on me? My background a little loud right now.
Okay. Yeah. Mega 9. Let me give you. Go ahead. You got 2 minutes. Mega 9.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say, I don't know if anyone has heard of the Loving versus Virginia case with Mildred and Richard.
Absolutely. Yes.
In that case, they identified her as part Native, part Negro. So even then in the 1960s, they knew who we were. And she looks just like me and you, just a regular, average Black woman. But they knew that they identified her as part Native and part Negro. So they know who we are. I wish this conversation would stop about we're African. Like I said, some of us are, but a lot of us aren't. So I really wish that conversation would stop unless we are the ones that are saying we identify as African American. Also, look up not Sammy, but Miles Davis. Miles Davis, in an interview in the 1970s or 60s, I believe, he did an interview and he spoke about his native. You can look at this man and tell he's native. He spoke about his native ancestry and he spoke about how privileged he grew up and how he grew up on acres on top of acres on top of acres of land, and that the government was forcing his family to say that land was farmland and it wasn't a reservation because they were literally trying to strip him of his native ancestry. So I just want, for anyone who's willing to do any type of homework when it comes to that, look up Miles Davis and look up Mildred and Richard and see how they identify these people and see how Miles Davis himself identifies himself. He was born in the 1920s and he knew who the hell he was. He knew that he was a native. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. All right, Shantae. Let me give you a. Go ahead. You there? Shantae?
I can't unmute. Oh, here I am.
Okay,
Hey.
go ahead.
So what I want to say is that as far as the immigrants in this country, I feel like they just need to take a back seat. Like, that's just how I feel at this point. I feel like they should take a back seat. They should close their mouth and let us do our work. We know our history is not made up. And I agree with the lady up top on the panel that says that they make up a lot of this revisionist history that just isn't true. And they don't have any receipts to back up all of the things that they say that Jamaica has even done. Because when I look at the receipts, you guys they haven't done much. So it's all made up revisionist history. We can prove every single WAR that our ancestors fought in. We can see in real time that we have over 50,000 patents in this country, that we built institutions and HBCUs. And I just feel like they don't hold a candle to that. And I feel like they just make up these stories about, oh, we were fierce warriors. Yes, 2,000 years ago. Okay, what are we doing today? What have y'all did in the last 100 years, 200 years, the last 5 or 6 generations? I think that it's almost like a fairy tale that they continue to pass down to make it seem like they have this exceedingly good culture. They have literally 4 things on their menu to eat. So it's like, I just think it's this thing that they did to themselves when they got over here to America, many of them, including their father, to somehow put themselves on top of Black Americans. Like, we're better than them. Look at us. We're walking around, speaking patois. When we speak patois, my family lives in New Orleans, Lake Charles, Louisiana, baby. Patois been around for a long time. So find something else to say. And to me, find something to do besides talk about us, because we do know our history. We know where we came from. As a United States sailor, I can tell you right now that they didn't make that journey. Nobody would have survived. They wouldn't have had enough food. I've rode in the Atlantic and the Pacific, baby. Them ships would have been in shambles. So it's just not plausible. It's not real facts. Once you actually do your research and learn history, you'll know that a lot of things that were taught need to be untaught. These people were already here. We were POWs on our own land.
Okay, boo. Thank you.
Ready when you bounce back.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. Oh dang, we got somebody. All right, let's let me get this new person and I'll come back up to you, Cash, and then Ellie, you could go again. Not too serious. Can I have your ethnicity? And then I'll give you 3 minutes on the timer.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, K Journey.
I consider myself. I do the whole FBA thing. I know a lot of people think that that's controversial at the moment, but personal opinion, I just think it's a pointless debate of like where we're from because it's been close to 500 years. Whoever like argue if it's been more or less, but it has been close to 500 years. Anybody that says that we are still just Africans, no different than our very first ancestors that stepped foot on this land, are insulting us. They're saying that we can't evolve. That's it. Because any other group evolved. Every human is from Africa, but who else is African that isn't in Africa or isn't like a couple generations past that? Only us, right? It's another insult. There's nothing wrong with being African, but if you have been gone for so long, you are not the same. They're saying we can't evolve, and it's just that simple. It's an insult to me. That was it.
Okay. All right. Ellie. Ellie.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to. It's a couple of things I want to say.
Go ahead.
One, as far as this whole "we're not African" thing, I want people to understand because I see a lot of people. I hear a lot of people who say, "Oh, well, I did my DNA test." I want you to realize that them DNA tests, them ancestry DNA, them African DNA, because that's the one that gets me. The African DNA that's saying everybody is from. Everybody's from Cameroon and Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau. Everyone is from there. Is what these papers are saying. These are entertainment purposes only. And as the person below me said, if we all stem from Africa, if we take our African DNA test, isn't some type of African ancestry going to show up? I want people to know that the ancestry DNAs are literally just to connect with people. They are literally connect with the people that hold the same DNA with you, not for them to tell you what country you actually came from.
Wow.
Right? I don't think they can do that.
Thank you so much for the donation.
Thing about reparations, because I wasn't alive earlier. I wasn't even in a live. I was just listening to this live earlier, and it was a bunch of Ghanaians talking about FBAs being mad because the Ghanaian president went to the United Nations in order to claim reparations. And my issue with that is I've never, up until very recently, started hearing anybody of the African diaspora talking about reparations. And if they are talking about reparations, I want to understand, why are they talking about reparations from the United States of America? Why are they going to the UN and putting the United States of America in as far as them getting reparations for us? For us. For us. I'm not understanding this at all. And I think this is one of these another destiny swap, or whatever you want to call it, where now they're trying to take what belongs to us, because I just have this nagging feeling that the UN and everybody else is going to cave, because for them, they rather pay them than pay us, and they're going to cave. And if they pay any of these African countries, if they give money to anybody, us FBAs, however we identify ourselves, of Black Americans on this U.S. soil, we're not going to see a thing.
That's what I said.
A thing.
I said the same thing.
And that's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. And I think that's why now everybody went from, oh, I'm not Black, to, oh, now I'm Black American. Well, aren't I Black? Aren't I born in America? What happened to being proud of everywhere else you came from before the last 5 years? I just want to know, because I see they're trying. Somebody said in the comments, they're scammers. Yeah, they're trying to scam us out of our money, and it's bad. It's bad. That's it. I just wanted to touch on reparations because that word pops up a lot, and as many bills as we have floating around in the U.S. state by state, as many bills that we have floating around federally. Now they're taking it higher to the UN and they're trying to take what's ours for themselves. And I don't like that.
I agree. And like CJ said, they already sending the money. They get billions. Those countries get billions annually in US aid. So what more do they want? Like, I'm trying to figure out. They just like, I mean, in Ghana, who is going to the UN and the AU on our behalf, they're in a severe economic crisis right now. Like when we was talking about this, was it last night or the night before?
It's a
And they
money grab.
need the money. Like they actually need it. But let's go back up to Cash. I'm gonna set the timer. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna set the timer for you. How convenient, exactly. Y'all, I'm about to sit on my couch, and y'all probably ain't gonna be able to see me because my back is fucking toe up. Okay, I've been sitting here before I even came live working. Go ahead.
Yeah. First I want to say the topic is not Jamaicans. Shantae. The topic is immigrants, and you're doing a lot of settling on Jamaicans and speaking on things that you obviously don't know, especially saying that they only have 4 things on the menu. That tells me everything I need to know. They give 4 things on the menu to tourists because that's what y'all come over there and want to eat. But they have more than 4 meals, and 4 things that they eat. I guarantee you that. And this is the problem with the community. Like, why can't we ever have conversations without being facetious and condescending? And that's why it's no understanding. It's like, what is the point in all of that? I didn't come up here and be facetious or condescending with nobody. I came up here and I was very clear, and you're still talking to me, and I'm not even talking to you. And you're doing it indirectly and being very condescending. And it's like, girl, give it a rest. Go focus on your history that you keep talking about. Love your history and stop trying to come for me and put me, like, just stop coming for me. But everybody else I agree with, especially with the reparations stuff. I feel like if anybody's gonna get reparations, it should definitely be Black Americans. That's a non-argument, honestly. Like, those are the people who were impacted by it. Yeah. You know, like, I don't even see how people from Ghana could even come and say anything, because obviously the people who were impacted by the slavery are not in Ghana. So what does sending the money to Ghana do? That's what's not clicking for me. I know you said they went to the UN. Obviously, the UN is gonna fold because the UN is trying to keep the peace. But it may just be the first domino. It may be a domino effect, because if they acknowledge that reparations are owed, that just may be a good thing for more reparations to be given. It could go the other way too, but I like to look on both sides of the coin.
Okay.
The U.S. ain't gonna pay 2 sets of Black people. That ain't never gonna happen. If they pay one, we done for.
Yeah.
Why aren't we as a people speaking? Like, this is what I don't get. We do a lot of lives, we do a lot of talking internally, but we don't be doing nothing for real.
Yes,
Like,
we do. No, Cash. I can't let you get that off. Hold on, Ellie. Hold on, Ellie, boo. I can't let you get that off. There was a protest that was outside. There's those of us who are literally petitioning Congress and the government. We absolutely are. I think that I don't know, it's the we thing that's triggering people. You probably are not doing anything, and maybe you're not privy because you're not attuned to that sector of people, but absolutely people are doing things. I mean, we're not to a space yet where we're about to bear arms and storm the Capitol with firearms the way we did, when we were Black Panthers, because that has been outlawed because of us. That's why you can't just open carry in DCs, because of Black Americans. But absolutely things are being done. It's not just having panels. And I don't like that people discount or discredit having discussions, because if we were in the 50s or 60s, we would be talking. We're just in an era now where we're doing things digitally. We're doing things in the metaverse. This is the metaverse. And we're able to reach an even broader audience. What do you think they were doing during civil rights? They were talking to each other. Instead of being on the internet, they were at churches. They were, in little Shake Shacks and places off the cusp and out the way. But now we are fortunate and blessed enough to, as we could speak to each other all over the country on the internet. But I can't let you get that off. We absolutely are doing something. And I think that you should probably arm yourself with some research. Like, look into what's being done before you make such a broad statement.
Can I please say something before I
I'm
drop?
not saying,
Please, Love
and I
Jones.
want to apologize because that I wasn't saying it in a sense of like, oh, nothing's being done, nobody is standing for it. When I say we, I meant as an entirety, because at the end of the day, the black dollar pushes the market in America. Point blank. Period. The black dollar runs the economy. So if we always talk about the black dollar thing, like we're doing with Target, like we're doing. If we could come together for real and have some real unity across the board, because everybody feels the same way about the reparations. I haven't heard one black person say, I don't think we should get reparations. If we could actually come together fully, not piece by piece by piece, and actually stop the black dollar, we could get the reparations that we want. So when I say we, I don't mean like there aren't people out here. I mean we as a whole. When you go to the UN and the leader is going to the UN, that's we the entire country of Ghana. That's what I mean. That type of
That's
impact.
not the
And
entire
problem is,
country of Ghana. It's just one person that's a
but
representative.
he's speaking for them. We don't have a
Speaking for them.
representative speaking for us.
You don't. Okay.
Can I
Who's
please say
speaking
something
for
before I
us?
drop? Can I please
I
speak,
don't know what's going
Love
on.
Jones?
Go ahead, boo. Go ahead.
Yeah, before I drop, I just want to reiterate, thank you so much for having panels like this, because our voices need to be heard more often. When I say our voices, I mean in particular FBA. I just want to say, it irks my soul. It burns me from the inside out when I hear first immigrants or first generation or bi-ethnic people talk about how we don't do anything. We Black people have fought in every war in this country. We have fought the government in every era of this country. That's number one. Number two, look up people like Paul. Sorry. Look up people like Paul Robeson. Look up people like Cissy Retta Jones. Look up people like Joyce Bryant. From the late 1800s to the early or mid 1900s. Look up Fisk University, the Jubilee singers from Fisk University. These people forfeited their education post the Civil War during the Reconstruction era. So the generation after them, the Black generation after them, would be able to go to college and have an education at an HBCU. Paul Robeson was fighting for the rights of not just Black people, but for the small hats when they started flooding over here in the 1930s because of what they were. I don't want to say what was happening to them, but we all know what was happening to them during that time. Look at what Paul Robeson did and how he fought for us from here to Africa, and how he fought for the small hats, and how he fought for the Chinese. He did a whole album in Chinese. So I cannot stand the conversation. I cannot stand when people say we haven't done anything or we're not doing anything. We're doing something currently. Look at all the Black women going up and speaking on behalf of all these middle school,
the emails and making the phone calls and literally going to town hall meetings. Like, there's countless
we've done
videos
too
that
much.
you should look at and
We've done too much.
What's going on.
We've done too much for that to even be a conversation anymore. All I see is Black women when it comes to these school boards and them talking about the literacy crisis that we're having in these schools. So stop dead that conversation about we don't do anything. Just say you don't know the history of foundational Black Americans. Just say you don't know the history.
Okay, I'm gonna add something else, and then we gotta let Chicago John go, and then we'll open back up the panel. I know what it's like to be ill or misinformed and not really know, but in order for everybody, there's over 50 million of us. I think that goes over people's head too. When some people are still calling themselves African American, some people are still immigrant, empathizers. Some people are bi-ethnic. Some people are hitting African coochie, hitting Latin coochie, taking, Zimbabwean penis. Everybody has split energy. Everybody is not going to be on the same accord. But for those of us who are, we are literally vibing on the same frequency. And a movement starts from somewhere. It has to literally grow from a seed into a tree. And literally, we are only 60 some odd years removed from the civil rights movement. A lot of our ancestors' accomplishments and things that they've done has been walked back because of the infiltration of every immigrant class. I'm not just talking about deeply melanated immigrants. The Italians, the mobs, they came in with the heroin and put the rugs up in the community. Then we had the Mexicans with the cartel. They came, we had the crack epidemic. Then we had the school to prison pipeline. And then we had we got the goddamn the fucking Israeli, the Jewish people. We've continuously and constantly had to combat different tiers of immigrant invasion when it comes to the Black American community. I think this goes over everybody's head. And then the Chinese with the fentanyl, lace and everything, that shit is in the goddamn Hennessy and in the vape pens and all types of stuff is going on. So we are going through, it's like a video game. We have to continuously beat one level to get to the next, one obstacle course to get to the next. And it's literally an influx of now just I'm trying not to, y'all, for those who know, y'all picking up what I'm putting down. So I really believe that it's like we don't ever get a break. As much as we're like, okay, damn, can we, like, who we're human beings. We're not super, well, we are Super Saiyan Negroes, but being a fucking X-Men all the time, some people just want to chill. So everybody is not also meant to be on the front lines or to assemble people or to even do what I'm doing, which is sitting up here with 236 people talking to people. Sometimes I got to cuss people out like a dog, yelling and screaming. My ass hurt from sitting on a hard ass chair. This is also doing something toward the cause, no matter how small or minute it may seem. I'm spreading information. We're talking about things that some people may have never even heard before. That is adding to the cause. We are not all supposed to be bearing arms or fighting out in the street with a brrrr. That's not everybody's path. Some of us are assigned to do different things. And I am very confident in the fact that we've gotten the ball rolling as it comes to the next tier or the next level of shit we got to combat and fight against. It is a lot to even think about these things when you're a little more woke. It's like, oh my God, like all of these things are going on around us. Some people are just NPCs. They don't even see any of these things happening. They just want to screw, get bent over, hunch, twerk, drink a little something, argue with their baby daddy. Everybody is not on this wave. So for those of us who are, like, I feel like we all need to give ourselves a round of applause because this is the start to something. And this is new. The fact that all of us are even able to have these conversations as a collective, this is new age. We weren't talking like this 10 years ago. So also give us some grace and literally take a look around and see how things are changing. Now, when you see people committing crimes, you hear their ethnic group. You didn't hear that before. Now you see more of us encouraging each other to look into their backgrounds and do their genealogy. We're giving each other resources so that you could even know where to start. That wasn't a thing before. Before Brian just came up here and said, go to the National Archives in your city. 10 years ago, you would have had to pay somebody $100 to tell you that. There's websites that you would have had to click a link or somebody would have to make an ebook and give to you. And we're literally just up here giving it out. So as far as the Black dollar goes, we absolutely know how to assemble. We just have to figure out exactly where and what we're assembling for. And that is exactly what is happening right before your very eyes. Now, go ahead, Chicago John. Let me give you 3 minutes. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
I just came in here to, one, we need to get our taps up. We had 125. We should have been at least at 150 a while ago. And then 2, every day there's a New York woman out there from New York who sits on a chair for hours a day arguing with foreign people. Her back hurts all the time, holding the weight of the Black world. If you can look into your heart and ask Ahmad what's her cash app so you can donate that $1 to her. If 200 of us, if all 200 of us gave her $1, we can get her a chair so she don't have to be shifting around, so she can feel comfortable holding the weight of the Black individuals on her head. So I just say this. I say that we need to support her, be like her support bra and support her, y'all. If you all could reach in your heart and look at her cash app where she got to hit it now because she can't talk about it on TikTok, will hit her up. Help her get that chair that she needs. Sitting on that crinkly Nigerian chair that she got from somewhere that got scammed. That's why she started all this shit, because she got scammed by them, and now she's sitting on some photo books, letting the legs swing. her back hurting.
Oh my
So y'all can get those taps up to 150 and then donate those dollars to her. We can all make sure that she sits up and keep fighting for our blackness. That's the only thing I can do as my black ass don't do anything but talk in here.
Oh my God.
So there we go. Please send that out there. Thank you. God bless. Stay black.
Why would you come up here and play it in a That's from one of the commercials where they be playing the sad looking dogs in a kennel. Oh my God. Anyways, if anybody want to send 75 cents a day, it's $ Love Jones TV. And shouts out, I think that was Ann. Ann sent me a very nice donation. Thank you, boo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I-20, if you in here, you could type it for me. Just type what it is. Don't put CA though, because then they gonna try to flag me. But it's $ Love Jones TV. That was fucking hilarious. Okay. I think Brian, are you ready? We're gonna go back up to the top and then work our way back down. That was funny as hell.
Oh yeah, you don't even have to give me 3 minutes. I just wanted to talk on the culture thing. On the young dude that was up here earlier, he was talking about how a lot of their cultures is how our culture is more modern. And he's correct about that. American black culture, it always changes.
Yep.
Like we're not dressing the same way we did 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, so ours constantly evolves, which many of them, their cultures is the same. I know we were talking about Jamaica. We see the same thing for Jamaica, right? Dreads, weed, their food. It's the same thing. But ours has evolved over time where they can't just really stick one thing on us because we are always moving. And all over the world, they're always looking at what our culture is to stay up to date because we're always moving forward. So I think that's kind of what the culture thing is. I mean, we have so many periods during American culture, right? The Renaissance, the 60s was different, the 70s was different with disco, the 80s was different, the 90s was different. We don't have one thing that you can just tone on to say that it's a Black American culture. So that's what I think ours is. But that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. We got a new person. Ishmael, hello. I believe you've been up here before. I think you're bi-ethnic too, right?
No, I'm not. I mean, well, if you consider one grandparent making you bi-ethnic, yeah, I guess.
Oh, you the one that they said. Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. Let me give you the
Just
3 minutes. Wait, hold up.
just one grandparent. I'm not. I'm FBA though.
All right, go for it.
Yeah. So why do immigrants always say Black Americans don't know where they come from and have no culture? Cause they just doing the YT man work. Like simple as that, we understand where we from. We understand that the fact that we've been here so long means that even if the slave trade did happen, the transatlantic slave trade did happen, at the end of the day, we still been here for 500 years, right? So we can't be African. Like it's damn near impossible. They don't say, they don't say that all these YT people that supposedly come from Africa is African, but they want to say we African. It don't make no sense. They don't say YT Europeans, but they call us African American. And at the end of the day, I feel like it's kind of disrespectful. So they say we have no culture. Some say we don't have no culture, right? But then you have individuals like Myron Gaines, who I just made a post about, who says that our culture is just it's violent, ratchet, ghetto. And first
And
of
he's from
all,
Sudan
he's from Sudan.
with the G side going on. But go ahead.
This man from Sudan. That they have a culture of over there in Africa and just Sudan specifically, they have a culture of conflict.
Yep.
17 million children over there is displaced because of conflict. WAR. but he's over here in living in safety, right? Because of what we done did for him,
Yep.
right? But he want to say that our culture is violent. His culture is violent. His culture is in conflict every day. 5,000 children get displaced every day. And he want to say, "Oh, we living with the victim mentality." No, there are actual victims over there that you could be helping. You could be taking your $3 million net worth over there, and creating infrastructure, fighting against the powers that be. But instead, you want to be over here, and cosplay with your cosplaying name. His name is Amaru Foodle. His name is not Myron Gaines. His name is
2 second,
Amaru
Ishmael.
Foodle.
Twani, you could pin it. You can pin it. You have the mod powers to do that. I can't do it from here. I don't know why. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you another minute so you could finish saying what you were saying. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
And I also got to shout out my biggest fan, OBM Lotus, because I got many fans across the globe. You feel me? Men, women, and children that keep my name in their mouth. And I
Oh
just
boy.
appreciate them because you need fans. You feel me? You need fans. You need individuals that stay on your trail. You know. But at the end of the day, I'm not in front of in front of my profile picture in front of a mirror with my shirt off so that everybody can see.
Yeah, I
I
know.
actually have morals. So yeah. OBM Lotus, you can come up here if you want to mentally spar. But of course, all you're
No,
gonna
y'all
do is
not about to
just
get up here cussing and hooting and hollering. I don't have
he's not
time for
gonna want to
that.
do that though, because he's not intellectual. So he has to throw shade because
Oh
nobody
no,
want his light skinned
he
ass.
definitely is intellectual.
Nobody
He
want
is.
his light skinned ass. That's why he hating on me. That's why he got to get in front of a mirror with his shirt off.
Why you being color? Why you doing color? Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Why you throwing up him being
He being
light skinned?
xenophobic. Hey, I'm bi-ethnic. He being xenophobic. So let's do it.
Oh, here you go.
Let's take
Lotus,
the
don't you
gloves
come up here
off.
cussing. I
Let's take
don't
the
want
gloves
no
off.
restrictions. I'm
Let's
gonna
take the
give
gloves
y'all
off.
5 minutes to go back and forth with each other. They left. They left. Yeah, because I don't want y'all cussing
Gloves
and
off, big bro.
going off. Because I ain't got he coming back.
Love Jones. What's up, Love Jones?
Hey.
I'm talking directly to you. I ain't even gonna go back and forth with about ethnic.
Oh.
He can't get in front of the mirror and take his shirt off. That's why he doesn't do it. That's why he gotta keep mentioning that I do that. Who gives a fuck? I was also a model. I moved to New York as a model. Just because you can't do what I do, bro, stop hating. You always leave out the fact that you're a bi-ethnic. You always leave out the fact that you got a Jamaican grandma. That will make you bi-ethnic. Period, point blank. I don't know what the fuck I don't know why that upsets you or bother you. I just, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, your grandmother is just, a plantain making
No.
No.
Jamaican.
You
I'm
going too
sorry.
far. You
I'm
He can
so
going
keep
too
going. He
far.
can keep
sorry.
going. I love it. I
I'm
love it.
so
Keep going.
sorry.
Nah, let
I
him
know
keep
you love it.
going. We taking the
I
gloves
know.
off today. Yeah, keep
I
going.
know. I'm sorry that, y'all still wiping y'all asses with banana leaves over there on the island. I'm sorry, bro. My family ain't never had to do that. Ain't never had to do that. Never will.
Actually, your family didn't have tissue when you was in slavery. So what we talking about?
My family wasn't in slavery,
So I
babe.
don't
That was
understand
your
why the
Jamaican.
Jamaican
Look,
hate.
see,
I
this
don't
is why y'all
understand why
gotta
the
talk. This
Jamaican
is
hate.
why y'all listen.
No, because if
Don't
you're
come off
gonna
your mic.
come for, if
Don't come
somebody
off
was
your
coming
mic.
for black
Love Jones,
people,
can I finish
I would
Let him
come
do
for
speaking?
his
them
thing. Let
too.
him do his
Can I
thing. Let
finish
him do his
speaking, Love
thing. Cause
Jones?
when
Because
I
it
get
is
him,
my
it's over
turn.
with.
All
Go
right, so
go
Let him do
ahead.
listen.
his thing.
So we got two bi-ethnic ass wiping banana leaves ass wiping
Oh
Jamaicans up in
God.
this
Lotus,
panel.
why you got the
They're mad. Listen, everybody family here in the United States of America wasn't slaves. This was y'all not getting through that fucking
And our
thick
ancestors
ass.
had
This
toilet paper, bitch. What is you talking
exactly.
about? What is you
We
talking about?
created this
Nah,
shit. We
because Lotus
created
don't
this
go.
shit.
That's
What
my
I
bro.
won't be
He
is
So
don't
get
hard
go.
on
your
my
Like, what
fake
is you
babies.
talking
Indian
We
about?
ass
created
That
on.
this
bitch go
shit.
to
What
your
Get
I
your
won't be is
fake
homeland.
hard
Go
on
Indian
to
my
your
ass
babies.
on.
continent.
You a
Oh
I'll be
fake
talking all
Indian.
that
All right,
shit.
You a
everybody
fake
go to
I'm the
Indian.
Africa.
in the
Love
Fake
Americas.
ass
Jones.
Somebody
Love
$5
take me
Jones.
there. I'm going to
Indian. You a
hell.
Love
I'm
Jones.
going
$5
to
They is
hell
so
every
Indian.
bi.
time. I'm gonna take it to hell every time, and
These
you're
$5
mad.
Listen,
Indians from up here.
You
look,
can't
I
take
got
it to
three
hell. You
minutes.
cannot
And
take it
I
to
already
hell
did.
in
That's why you're
America.
Let
so
him
Y'all
mad.
finish,
clear.
y'all, and then
Leave
y'all
You're
can
over
say
mad.
stuff.
here.
I'm gonna
Y'all are
use $5 to buy
clear.
me an Indian. I'm gonna use
Let
$5.
me finish. Let me just say this,
Y'all
man.
are
Go
trying to
ahead.
connect to our
Hold,
Go.
lineage.
hold on, Ether. Let Lotus finish, and
Nobody
then
want to
you
be an
guys can.
Indian.
Is you slow?
They don't want me to
Nobody
finish.
want to be an Indian. Trail of
I'm black. Are
tears.
you slow?
Trail of
You gotta be
tears.
slow. Are you new
Trail.
here?
Are y'all finished? Are you goddamn banana
Look,
eating
now it's saying
Jamaicans
move
finished?
Thank
Ishmael.
you. Jamaican maroons
Are
were
you
never
down
slaves.
banana
Stop
eating
restricting.
Jamaicans
Exactly.
finished? So I
Thank
got
Yeah,
to
you.
I'll be
talking.
telling y'all not
Damn,
to cut up
Cash.
because y'all gonna get restricted and removed. But
Thank you,
go
Love
ahead, Lotus.
Jones. Thank you, because these goddamn on wild, beastly Jamaicans can't
Oh my
seem to keep
God,
their goddamn
Lotus.
mics closed. Shut your damn mic up, bitch. Excuse my language, but you
Oh,
pushing me there.
don't
I'm
don't call a
sorry.
lady a
All right,
bitch.
I
You,
apologize. I
did you
apologize.
just call me a
Ether,
bitch?
that's what you acting like? The
Don't
Okay,
fuck?
and you're a
no.
bitch ass, like
All
you're a
right,
bitch
yeah,
ass
I'll be
boy.
that.
Okay, next.
Anyway,
I'm
Love Jones,
starting to
I
think
want to
that you're
say,
a little
y'all,
bit
tap the live,
No, you're
share the
sassy, and I
screen.
don't argue with
Girl, shut
sassy men.
up. Shut
Go
your
figure
ass
out who
up.
you are, babes.
Nobody
Go
gives a
figure out
fuck.
who
You're
you
half
are.
Jamaican.
No,
We
now
Nobody
I'm
know
not
who
cares.
we
listening.
are.
You're
Y'all are
half,
trying to
Once
you're
you
act
half
like
call
little
me
we
out
out
my
B.
of
name, now you're
culture.
You
gonna
might
shut
be
the
Bitch,
full
fuck
we
up.
know
So
who
Jamaican,
I'm
to
we
be
not
are.
gonna shut
You
the
honest.
don't know
fuck
who
up.
you are.
No, now
Y'all up
I'm
here
not gonna shut the
cosplaying
fuck up.
black
And
women.
bitch, you can
You're
shut the fuck
bi
up.
Might be
ethnic.
full,
And
And
she
I
I'm
might
can
be
shut
keeping
the
full
fuck up,
Jamaican,
bitch.
to be
Both of
listen,
y'all
you
can
on
honest.
shut
this
the
bitch
fuck up because
land.
I
Go to
really
your
could dick
dirty
like
ass
that.
homeland and talk
She
that
gotta
shit.
Baby,
be
I'm
full
from
You in
Jamaican.
Chicago
my
and it could really
homeland
get
talking
like that.
shit.
Is
You
you
gonna
Man,
cool?
respect me,
fuck.
you little
Is you
dirty
Listen,
dusty
listen,
cool?
foot
listen. All
hoe.
right,
Is
I
you
want to say
You
cool?
this.
want
Love
to
Jones,
Baby,
listen.
because
no,
I'm from
I'm
Chicago
not.
where it get real
The
active. What are
fuck?
you
Now,
talking
You
hold
don't
about?
on
get
now,
What are
Ether.
active.
you
You don't
talking
get
about?
active.
What
Go
are you
back to your
talking about?
homeland. Go back
Hold
to
I
your
on, y'all.
get in
Hold
the
homeland.
on,
Oh,
hold
field
on,
dirty
like
hold
foot
on.
ass
I
I
bitch.
just
get
want
in
to
the
make
field
this
like where your
very.
grandma was at, bitch.
All right,
Yeah,
so
my
hold
grandma
on. Let
was
me
in the
just
field,
say.
but Trez
Can
is
I
still in
finish
the
my
field,
Yeah,
hoe.
I
goddamn?
Y'all
get
are
in the field like
dirty.
your
Y'all are
grandma hoe.
Can I
Wait,
finish,
hold
y'all?
on,
I just
hold
want to say this.
on.
I want to make this real clear.
I am from Chicago, the fuck,
Oh
like I
man,
said
shut
when I
your
got up
ass up,
here.
Cash.
Cash. Shut
You
up,
see, you
girl.
said you
Shut
never
up.
chose a side, but you sit up here
She
saying
is.
talking about
Because they're
slavery.
coming
But
from
you
my
said
Jamaican
you said
side,
your
so
Who
mother.
cares?
it's
So
not
why we?
But you
personal.
talking about your mother though.
And my
Like
people was slaves
you talking
too.
about your
Girl, no, they
mother.
was.
Shut.
My
They
people
still
was
She
slaves,
slaves
ain't
though.
no.
Dirty
She
too.
foot
not no.
ass.
My
She
Oh,
people
not
was
black
dusty
slaves
ass.
American.
too. But if you coming from
Oh,
my Jamaican side, I'm gonna come for
plantain
you.
eating
I don't
rice
give
and
a fuck
peas
if it's
ass
about
bitch.
me
Go
too.
add something to the
I
menu
don't
while
give
you
a
up here
fuck.
worried
Shut
about
your
what my
ugly ass
grandmother
up.
was
All
doing.
right,
Yeah,
it's
A
y'all
okay.
bitch who
just
You
got
My
cussing. We've
grandmother
been
made
here
it
for
possible
a
for
long
you to
time.
be
I don't
up here,
got fucking time
bitch.
for this no
y'all
more.
just used up my time. I love you, not Ether. Y'all done used up my
Oh
time. Anyway,
Lord.
Love Jones. Listen, every time these people get triggered, their true colors come out, right? And this is why we know that they are not Black American. For you to get up here and go in on your lineage, because I'm saying something about Jamaicans. She ain't no Black American. These people ain't no Black Americans. These people are up here cosplaying, getting on a panel, pretending to be Black American or half and half. I hear this shit all. I hear this stuff too
I
much,
can't
bro.
take the
I'm have this.
arguing
I'm
and the
have
hooting
that,
and hollering.
man. And then the Isaiah bull, whatever his name is,
Ishmael.
the Ishmael, whatever his name is. This
Lord.
nigga,
Thank you,
look.
Danny.
I troll in the I troll in the comments, Love Jones, just
I
because you
know.
feel me. That's what I do. But I don't give a fuck about him. Excuse my language. I can't care less about the boy. But I heard him on the panel specifically say he was half Jamaican and half Black American, and then he comes into different rooms unconventional. intentionally leaving out the fact that he's half Jamaican, half quote unquote Black American, which I don't believe. The nigga is just fucking Jamaican in my eyes. Period. And then he mad because I can get in front of the mirror and take my shirt off. Bro, if you too ugly to take your shirt off and get in the front of the mirror, that is on you and your mama and your Jamaican grandmama who made you.
Oh Lord.
I'm sorry.
I can't with the arguing. Y'all know I don't like all of that. I could take it for look. Lotus, now
I
they
got
saying
restricted.
remove it.
He
See, I
reported
told you
me.
because you be
He
coming up here
reported
cussing
me.
like a goddamn sailor.
My bad. He reported me. But y'all have a good night.
All right. See? That's why I be telling y'all not to cuss and cut up too much because they going to restrict you. And I don't want to get no damn restrictions either. Y'all cuss and cut. You know what, Ether? I can't even hold you, though. That Jamaican girl, I cannot remember her name, the one that talk very hard like Nicki Minaj, that do the cookie wash. And she was like, oh, I don't want to hear, and I don't want to hear that the Black American girls had to sell poom and y'all had to become a stripper because I was selling bottles of water to support my cookie wash brand. She the one who said that back home in Jamaica, her family and them was wiping their ass with banana leaves.
They
So
always hit low
she said
blows
that. So
though.
I can't hold you. A Jamaican girl said that.
Man,
And I have a
listen,
video that went viral.
they always show their true colors. And when they get mad, they can't keep it first, second generation. They always want to take it to the field of what our grandparents was doing. But bitch, if it wasn't for our grandparents, your dirty ass wouldn't even be over here. They still wiping their ass with their hands. They have not evolved yet. So what are we talking about?
Oh, she said
The
Star
tissue
was lying.
came from the black people. What are y'all talking
Well,
about?
Star
And
said
I
We done
will
trained
probably
every fucking body. To this day, we still teaching motherfuckers how to bathe and smell. These are stinky people. They homeland stink. Like, what are we
I didn't
talking
say
about?
Ether said
Girl,
it
I was gonna
wasn't.
come up here and defend and defend bi ethnics because you have some bi ethnics that don't even know, their father or their that other parent, but they done messed that up because they done took that away because I mean nobody want to hear that now after this shit they did. So yeah.
All right, let's let Joelle hello. Right quick, you could just tell us whether or not you have an immigrant background, and then I'm gonna go ahead and
Black
give you 3
American.
minutes.
Black
Okay,
American.
who is that? FK? Oh, we gotta mute you, boo. You got so much going on back there. All right, let me we added you. You got 3 minutes. Go ahead.
When I was looking at the average age in Africa, it's like 19, 20 years old. And when I listen to a lot of the people that come up with these talking points, they sound like young people, like really young people.
They do sound young.
I seen when the girl went to Africa and she was asking them, do they know who Haitians are? Like nobody really
Oh, they
knew.
didn't know what the hell that girl
And I'm
was talking
thinking
about.
like we their continent is very young, and I think that it's important for us to try to come to some amends with them because we don't want these young people passing this on to our kids and our grandkids. So we got to do something about it, whether by any means necessary, whether we got to be nice about it or not. But I think that we're dealing with a lot of young people that don't really know, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault because some of our young people don't know, which is our fault, but it's not really their fault, right? But I think that a lot of people think that they can take us on our land. Y'all can take us on, but y'all can't take us on our land. And I think that y'all really pressing y'all really poking the bear, yo. And this hasn't trickled down to the youth. But if it trickles down to the youth, they're a little bit less conservative than we are, you know. But I just think that we're dealing with a lot of young people. Like we're dealing with a lot of young people, and we gotta try to figure out a way to give them something that where they can educate themselves. Something short, simple. We got documentaries. Like, come on, man. They don't even understand that a lot of our scholars were taken off of YouTube. So they can't even see our scholars. A lot of our scholars' work was taken off of YouTube. You're not going to find all of Dr. Francis Cress Welson's work on YouTube the way you used to before they started censoring it. Louis Farrakhan, Louis, you're not going to find even with Dr. Sebi. He had lessons all over YouTube. Once they started censoring the holistic healing and all that, they took all that information off. So they can't even see our actual. You have to really dig to even get some of the important stuff. But I just look at it like we need to realize that most of these people are young, they don't know, and they're really not a factor. Considering what we got to do, they're not a factor. Not here in America. That's all I'm gonna say with that.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what I'm about. It's so early. It's only 9:45. So I'm like, should I leave her? I think I might leave y'all and then come back in like an hour or two. Cause child, we might need a reset. What y'all say? We're 47 mil plus all of them put together make up less than 4.6 mil. That part, and that's why I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, it's not a huge portion, but the areas that they populate are like heavily populated areas and like inner city areas and like some of the bigger cities in the United States. So their voices are very loud, you know? And I need to say this. Damn, I need to make me some tea because somebody trying to attack my throat chakra. Y'all got me fucked up, bitch. That's why I can't be like, I need I need to burn some sage and I need to drink some goddamn herbal tea. But we don't really have an issue with people that leave us the fuck alone. I think that's what goes over everybody's head. Like, even with pale-faced people, if pale-faced people just leave us alone, we wouldn't have no issue. We wouldn't even need to interact on a daily basis. We don't need to be in the same spaces. We don't need to commune. We don't need to do anything. We just want to be left alone. And a lot of people will not do that. Like, we're constantly being questioned about who we are, where we come from, what we doing, why we ain't doing this, what we doing, this and that. And with Coco, was it Coco Barbie or Cash? Oh, Cash, she was up here saying, but what are we doing? And I'm not gonna let her back up here right now because I need to reset this energy. Maybe next week or something. But I would just pose the question to you, Cash. I know you're still in the comments. Do you ask your Jamaican side what they're doing about CARICOM? Because they too are fighting for reparations. They too have a committee for reparations. Do you ask your Jamaican side what they're doing about their ports being taken over by foreign entities? Because this is something that I've seen them, and I've stitched videos of Jamaicans making videos complaining about these things. Lots of their beautiful beachfronts are walled off. I've seen these videos, and I've been to Jamaica a few times, and I've seen it in real life. And these are things that they are up in arms about. They don't like the fact that foreigners have all of the brick and mortars out there, and they're forced to sell their goods and services on the street. So I wonder, like, why is it that we are the ones that needs to be right now, everything needs to be lined up right now? Like, we need time. People need to assemble. Everybody needs to get the damn message. We don't even all know what the hell is going on. So us having these conversations, like I said, is opening the door for us to get to the next level, which is everything is simultaneously happening at the same time. But I just wonder, you know, because it seems like there's always such a strong focal point on what are we doing when other countries have similar and more dire circumstances. So I would just like to ask about that. And I think the next time I come back and do a live, I'm gonna ask, what does culture mean? Like, what is your culture if you're not a lineage Black American? Like, because I'm tired of being, you know, told that we don't have any, but no one else is ever. We never cared enough to ask these people these questions, but now I want to know, since we always got to be on blast and we always got to ask answer a bunch of questions. I want to know, what the fuck is people doing? Like, if your country was colonized or disenfranchised, what are you doing to help? Like, that's what I think I'm going to put on the next prompt. What's your culture if you're not Black American? And what are you doing to help the country that you came from if it's colonized, or, you know, if something is going on? Like, we need to know, because why we always got to be the one answering questions all the time? But I gotta go. I don't know what the fuck, bitch. I'm sending it back to the sender. You got me fucked up. Okay. Anything you're coming this way, it's coming back to you tenfold it. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's do final thoughts, and then I'll be back probably within an hour. Thank you, Ellie. Joelle, well, you just went, so let's start from the bottom up. Ellie, go ahead. You can give your final thoughts, boo.
Yeah, actually, what you said you was coming back on is exactly what I wanted to touch on, because I don't understand the cultural aspect of this, or questioning our culture. Because when you ask them to define culture, they will tell you clothing, food, traditions, and everything else. And then turn around and look at us, copy everything that we do, to the point that they'll have others thinking that they are Black Americans, and then turn around and say we don't have culture. So I want to know, what is their true definition of culture? because everything that they describe culture to be when they're trying to demean us or claim that we don't have culture, everything that they mention is the same exact things that we already do.
And you know what they say, which makes them feel superior, is language.
Can I say
But they
something to that?
speak our language.
Oh, hold on, Joel. I'm about to get back up to you. We're gonna work our way up.
They speak our language. You see, the thing is, because AAVE was called Ebonics, and it's and then they align it with slang. They believe that there's no language, but then there's also other languages. There's languages that was developed during slavery, just because how were we communicating with each other? Like, they don't think these things. I feel like I don't like to call people ignorant or whatever the case may be, but it's exactly what it is, because there's nothing else to call anybody when they don't take the time to learn. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that we have. Nobody takes the time to actually sit here and learn. They know what they know, or they think they know what they know, because the things that they know, even about themselves, are not even true. They think they know what they know, and then they try to project, they turn around and project it on us. It's their lack of information, and they don't care to learn about it. They tell you they come up to our schools and stuff like that, and they don't pick anything up. They pick up the same white supremacy, the hatred, and everything else, but they don't pick up the history. Unless they're specifically taking Black American studies, African American studies, they don't know anything, and they don't want to. They'd rather stay in that ignorance. They'd rather be blinded so they have something to talk about. And that's what I feel is being done. Somebody said willful ignorance. It's being done on purpose, so that way they have somebody they look down on.
Oh. Yes, that is my cash app if y'all want to donate to me a chair, because I need to get one. It's $ Love Jones TV. Shouts out to everybody who's already sent in donations. Shouts out to everybody who sent in gifts, and shouts out to those of you who have been liking the live and running it up in the chat. I love to see y'all interacting in the chat. I love to see y'all comments in the chat. All of this is an ecosystem that works together to get us where we need to go, because y'all know they be trying to flag, and y'all already know when we talk about things that are not just me saying, yes, me, ice cream. Oh, so good. Thank you. Yes, yum, yum. Thank you. Oh, I'm not doing a fucking, y'all picking up one down. Okay, FKRO, let's get your final thoughts, boo.
Hello? Yeah, my final thoughts. I mean, I think I agree with the lady. I can't see her name is L. They rather stay ignorant. They don't want to learn because it is something that they can use to look down on. And I mean, and that to look down on a person, because you can tell them a million times something and they just won't take it in. They don't want to they will go to the grave before they give Black Americans credit for anything. It's jealousy, hands down.
That's a good prompt question too. Go ahead, boo.
It's jealousy, hands down. There's no way around it. And I think that we should, recognize that. And, and like I said, they teach a lot of pseudo history to their kids, revisionist history. Their kids grow up with a false sense of pride. Just like, I don't want to keep bringing her up but just like the young lady that was up here, she gravitated towards Jamaican culture because her grandmother probably filled her full of BS. You understand what I'm saying? It was probably all these magical stories of what they did and how they did it. And none of it, I don't say none of it, but it's probably far stretched from the truth. There's no documentation. There's no proof. It's just glorified stories. And so that's what they do. And then they come here and we have our proof, our receipts, basically. And they don't want to accept it because it makes them feel inferior. So in order to combat that, they don't want to hear it. They're not going to learn it. They're not going to listen to you. And they're going to keep it. You don't have no culture. You don't have your own language. They speak a language that can't be used anywhere, but in their village.
It has no leverage, no clout, none of that.
And that's what they want to stand on because it's the one thing that we supposedly don't have. It's just to punch down, to stand on somebody's neck to make them feel, better than what they are. And that's it. And I just think we need to recognize that and instill cultural pride in our kids coming up, tell them our true history, and attack it that way, because they tell their kids all kind of I've heard so many crazy shit that they tell their kids. It don't even make
Yeah, that's
sense.
true. That's true. All right,
But that's
well,
it.
Cash Barbie, you saying you should be able to speak for yourself, girl. You was on my panel for a whole damn near hour. You was able to speak. Thank you, Tiff. You was absolutely able to speak. Right now, I'm doing final thoughts. I'm tired. I don't feel like this anymore. I'm over it. The cussing and the hooting and the hollering, that took every last bit of whatever I had. I might come back in a couple hours. Thank you. Support in the back, period. Okay, Brian, go ahead. Final thoughts.
I wanted to kind of bite off what Joel was saying up there, that a lot of them that we're seeing is young, and for the most part, none of them have lived in the country that they're trying to represent. They were all born right here, but they telling us about culture from another country that they never lived, that they only heard stories about. We never see them dressing like their people. We never hear no language coming from there unless it's some kind of celebration. That's the only time we see them using their so-called culture. Nowhere else in the world are they checking for all of these other countries. When people look at black culture, they look at American black culture, nowhere else. Right? So we are the main character energy around here. We are the creators of culture. We can always change ours to however we want it. All throughout history, when we had a culture and someone tried to bite off it, we changed it and we came up with something new. And we continue to do that. So, at this point, man, they just hating, they jealous. Even if they said we came from Africa, right? We've done more in the last 40 years than these countries have did in hundreds of years. All right. They have nothing to show for what they've been doing, but we got everything to show for it. Right. Even if you come down to clothing styles, you got people in Africa wearing football jerseys, bro. Football is in America, nowhere else. You understand? So
Varsity
they
jackets.
varsity jack, come on, man. Our music, they need to chill. It's just like they do not want to really just give us our credit and give us our props of us being people of our own and not being connected to no one else. Because when we represent as Black Americans. We don't say we know Africans and all of this stuff. We represent as us. And they just hate to see that. They hate to see it. But I'm walking off.
It's so unfortunate though, because we don't do that to any other group of people. We don't be like, oh, well, no, the first person to ever record a reggae song was a Black American man, so reggae is Black American. Could you imagine if we laid claim to every fucking thing that we influence? Bitch, they wouldn't have Ampiano, they wouldn't have reggaeton, they wouldn't be up here fucking having samba. Like they wouldn't have shit if we was literally laying claim to anything that we had any type of semblance of a goddamn influence on.
Look, I just want to end with this. We, as kids growing up, we ain't know nothing about no Africans. Our parents used Africa as punishment. They said if we didn't want to eat this, right? Remember they used to say it's children in Africa that will eat this. It's children in Africa that will
Hungry
be happy
children,
to be
yeah.
in America. We didn't see them until we turned on the commercial and we wanted to send 19 cents a month to feed them. You know what I'm saying? We ain't know nothing about y'all. We only knew of our culture. And when they say, we don't know what country we come from, well, we've always practiced tribalism in this country, right? Someone from the South is different than someone in the North. People in New Orleans, we different from people in California, right? We all got different cultures, but we all American at the end of the day. So we know exactly who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out.
Yeah. Joel.
Yes. I don't get offended when people say we don't have a culture, because I'm like, you can go on YouTube and you can go to any country in this world to see something that we created here that traveled there. So graffiti, music, fashion, even sports. The way they crossing over now, they trying to be like Iverson, like so. I don't get offended, but when I hear people say that, I usually think of two things. Because I'm keep hearing people say this, the West, the West. They keep referring to our country as the West. They're like grouping us in with Europe. And the first people I heard saying that was the Nigerians, Boko Haram. They used to refer to us as the West. So now, years later, I'm seeing the young people doing it now. They don't even call us Americans. No, they say the West, the West. What that? What? We are Americans. Whatever. You can't group us in with Europe and ideology or whatever. So when I hear no culture, it usually means that A, we're not Muslim, or B, we don't deal with blood sacrifice. That's what no culture means to me. That's what,
Shit.
because that's what I notice. Blood sacrifice is something that a lot of the diaspora has in common with each other that they don't have in common with us. We don't deal with that for the most part. So we don't have that in common with them. So that's what I hear when I hear no culture. Y'all don't deal with blood sacrifice, or y'all not Muslim. And for the ones who are Muslims, I want to know what your culture was before Islam came in. Because it seems to me that y'all got y'all culture, half of y'all got y'all culture from Arabia, half of Africa is Muslim. No disrespect though. No disrespect at all. But I think this is going to come into a million man march type of thing, and we not going to be marching in the streets. I think it's going to be something that's more like, we might have to take all of our kids out of all these Division I schools, out of sport. We might have to take all of our kids out of public schools to send a message. Like total shutdown. We ain't doing nothing. No bodegas, no Chinese food. We ain't getting no Chinese nails, no nothing. Nothing. Total shutdown. And then we could see who's the most valuable.
Somebody saying, what is your culture? We're not telling you. What's your culture? South
Fighting
Africa.
oppression. What Ibrahim Traore is doing, that's what our culture is. Because my mother told me, don't
And it's a
celebrate.
South African, as if the abolishment of apartheid wasn't solely based on the outline of us with civil rights and abolishing Jim Crow. That's fucking crazy.
It's like my mother told me, we don't celebrate none of them that didn't fight back. So that's why, like, I only like when you talk about Gaddafi, that's who the people my mom taught me about, the ones that fought back. Everybody else, that's what our culture is. Our culture is fighting oppression. Our culture is comedy. If you want to keep it real, y'all know the culture comedy, fashion, music, Christianity or religion, because we all got different religions. So it's like believing in one God. That's part of our culture. We all believe in something. We don't believe that we are the thing. But it's I just look at it like when you hear that, oh, they don't have no culture, just think to yourself, Muslim, blood sacrifice. It's one or the other. I'm gonna just end on that. But I just think that we need to figure out a way to solve this problem, because this problem could grow.
We solving it right now by not allowing them to successfully destiny swap with us. We cutting that shit off. This person keeps saying, what's your culture? Hip hop, jeans. Bitch, you're wearing jeans right now and cotton t-shirts because of us. Yes, and hip hop is the fucking biggest genre of music worldwide. We literally introduced you all to rhythmically speaking over music. You wouldn't have Ampiano if it wasn't for our jazz, our hip hop, or our house/dance music. So shut the fuck up. You wouldn't be free from apartheid if you didn't see Black Americans liberate themselves. So shut the fuck up with your South African stupid doodoo head ass. I'm getting out of here. Y'all done fucking drain me. I'm tired. I might come back. All right. Sprella, ouch. Sprella, you call hip hop a culture. Hip hop is art, stupid. Go read a fucking book. Hip hop is art.
What kills me about them? They think that's just culture. So we supposed to take them wrapping all that damn tissue paper and towels upside their noggin as culture.
Yeah, what's your culture? That's why I want to know, because they keep trying to say, what's our culture? What's our culture? What's your culture?
Say what their culture is. All they're going to do is sit here and try to ask us what's ours. Ask them what their culture is, and they're not going to give you a definitive
asking,
answer.
and he's not
they're going to say
nothing.
the same things that they try. Oh, they have this dance, they have this food, they have this tradition. We give the same answers, and it's not good enough for them.
No, because they just don't rate it as something special. But why? But we don't rate that shit.
I know an African saying, not saying your culture is crime when y'all unalive each other, y'all G-side each other in the fucking street. I know you're not saying
if you want to look at it like that, if the culture is crime, the way I see it, everybody doing what the street engines do. They dress like us. They drive their cars like us. They drink the same drinks we drink. You're seeing geeks, nerds right now where they go change like they dealers on the corner. Everybody do what the streets do. So
They favorite Burna Boy
that's not a
music.
diss. That's not a diss. You know.
But what is the point? Like, why do they have to try to denigrate us? Like, why do they have to try to do that? Like, what
It's
have we
like
gotten up here
football.
and
It's like
said?
football in the fourth quarter when you throw the Hail Mary. It's nothing else left. Just throw it. See
They're
who?
just jealous.
It's just nothing else left. It's nothing else. You know. And it's like I honestly at this point I think that it's like a more serious thing. I think it's actually somebody actually paying them, and I think it's something serious going
I
on.
was just gonna say because
Yeah, I think
this is a
it's some
CIA
big money.
operation.
Somebody with
Got
some big money somewhere is putting some money down somewhere, and yeah, it's not, and I don't think it's just legal money. I think it's like, and it's not just us. I think it's the Americans as a whole. I think the world right now is pushing up on us. That's how I feel.
But Joel, you do remember on X when they did that feature where you could see where these accounts are from. It was Africans and Indian people that was making fake accounts pretending to be one of us or just pretending to be other accounts to do opposition type of content, basically. So
Yeah,
you might be
yeah,
right. These might be people that's hired opposition.
yeah.
But
You know they'll do anything for $1. They'll sell their own kids for.
I keep saying let me up. No, I'm not letting nobody else up. I'm about to get off. Talking about I don't want to hear opposing sides. Yes, yes, people got up here and said things that I didn't agree with. People come up here all the time. So I know I don't feel like being bothered with you.
I ain't got much, but I'm gonna put some in your Cash App. You're gonna need some Advil after this. You're gonna need it. Them Advils is like $4 a pack.
I gotta get a streaming chair because
Yeah.
this chair is just to like make quick content, but I need something comfortable if I'm gonna be sitting up here like this with y'all. I could get one. But all right, y'all. And my Cash App is $ Love Jones TV. But I'm getting out of here. I might, like I said,
though.
Because it's still,
She disappeared. The South African. We never got the culture answer.
Yeah, they don't
gone.
ever answer. That's gonna be on the prompt the next time. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me tonight.
All right, good night.
It's Relevance the Brooklyn Way.
Wow.
Bye.